as we're going, somebody going on a rant.
All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome. You are back tuned into the Original Sports Podcast. I am your host, Big Mike. To my, I guess on my camera, to my right is NFL Girl. On the bottom is Smooth. You know, Vio will join when he joins. That's how it goes. That's neither here nor there. But welcome. Glad you're back. We've had a little bit of a hiatus, thing, life be life and sometimes. So, shit be going on. So it's all good. We're back. So again, before we get into the whole thing, we are on Apple, we're on Spotify, we're on YouTube. Again, we're on Instagram. So if you want to like, comment, subscribe, feel free. All the stuff's there. Any updates, anything's gonna be happening, we're gonna be posting it there. So we can start with the NBA because safe to say we all got our picks wrong. So we've been gone for a while, so the whole full team has been here since about a month ago when we kind of predicted the Cavs and Celtics Eastern Conference Finals, which did not happen because Indiana said, "Kiss our ass, hold our beer. We're gonna go and we're gonna win this. Beat Cleveland." And then obviously New York. They played New York, the Knicks, who beat Boston, and then the New York and Indiana had their lovely Eastern Conference Finals wrap up yesterday. I believe it was yesterday. And Indiana, safe to say, is going to the NBA Finals. So congratulations to Indiana. I guess I'll throw it to NFL Girl. What the hell happened? Let's just ask that question. What the hell happened? I asked this to Smooth the last time we did the podcast. So I'm going to ask you the same question. What the hell happened? How the hell did Indiana somehow go from a team that we thought was not even going to stand a snowball chance in hell against Cleveland to now playing in the NBA Finals?
We slept on Tyrese Halliburton.
We did.
I think honestly we slept on the Pacers. Period.
We did.
You know what I mean? Like
guilty.
I'm gonna admit I didn't watch a lot of Pacers games this year or whatever. I live in Los Angeles.
I don't think anyone has.
Yeah, I watch way too many Lakers games and the unfortunate Clippers games that pop on my television. So I did not get the pleasure of getting to see the Pacers play a lot this year. And so that's on me for not knowing how well this team played together, so cohesively. It's not one standout player, even though Tyrese Halliburton is absolutely going to get the love and he does deserve that for carrying that team the way that he did. But they played like a team. Pascal Siakam stepped up during these playoffs. Aaron Nesmith stepped up during these playoffs. Benedict Mathurin. Mandarin. Stepped up during, you understand, like they play cohesively like a team. Anytime they needed someone to take over the game, they did that. And I totally appreciate that. You were very cognizant when they were playing in the ECF against the Knicks that if Cat's having an off night and it fell on Brunson, this team could not play at the same level at all. There was many nights when Cat was struggling and the team just could not get it going or whatever. Now together, when Cat and Brunson were playing well, they were able to manage. That's why they got won a game or whatever. Why they got as far as they did. Why they were able to get past the Celtics. But seeing the way that Indiana really took over in the ECF and seeing how well they played together, that's going to be something that has to be studied in the future for other teams that are trying to get out of the East. I feel like there is a way to beat the Knicks. There is a way to beat the Celtics. And maybe the way it is to have an entire team, not just built around any one particular player. Because I know people say that team is built around Tyrese Halliburton. That team is built around the team mentality. That's really what it was. And so the way to move forward is going to be, we got to get a whole ass team. Even if we got a star player, whether it's a Brunson, whether it's a Jason Tatum, build an entire team, an entire roster around that player, so that if something happens and that player goes down, the entire the wheels don't fall off, and now you're out of the playoffs and you're watching the Indiana Pacers of all teams going into the final. That's my takeaway from what I saw.
Okay. Well, Smooth, I'll throw it to you. What the hell happened?
So I'll say Donovan Mitchell happened to Cleveland. They need to get rid of him.
Oh, wow.
Because you can't just keep shooting threes when you got Mobley dominating in the paint. You got to understand time and moment. If I'm them, I would say, hey, so sorry, Donovan, because I think they played better when he was on the bench. and you brought the guy from Virginia who was steady, ran the team, and everybody got involved. Then also with Boston, Tatum got hurt. Yeah. So I think the theory, like NFL Girl said, is now it's going back to team opposed to just superstars.
Yeah.
So now you're going to have to change your vision. Look at OKC. They have a team.
Mm-hmm.
The Lakers have LeBron, right? But LeBron is
your boy.
LeBron needs to go out the door.
LeBron is not leaving. LeBron is going to die on court.
You can't have. That's why Giannis wants to leave, because it's not a team anymore.
No.
It's Giannis,
right?
And now he wants to go to probably San Antonio because team.
Man, if he goes to San Antonio, man, that is going to.
They have the number 2. They have the number 2 and the number 14 pick, so that's enough for Milwaukee and give them. They got a whole bunch of wings that they don't need. You're not giving up Stephen Castle. You're not giving Wembley. You're not giving up Fox. So if you can give up all those wings you got that you drafted time and time again and give them to Milwaukee, and if you put Giannis on that team, it's crazy. But the West is so deep. So they're saying that he should stay in the East. But I don't know what East team that will work to give up pieces.
That's going to elevate. I think to your point, yeah.
And now the model needs to be follow OKC, follow Indiana. And with Indiana, nobody knew about how deep they were, right? You saw Halliburton and you want to call him overrated. Yep. Here comes Siakam, right? Here comes this no-name guy, Neesmith, getting buckets.
Yeah.
Right? Then you got a bench of guys that come off the bench with no fear that can score.
Like Nemhard.
You had to do Bryant. You had to do Bryant, who's been a journeyman.
And
he hit 2 threes or 3 threes last night, right? Yeah. Came in, got big blocks, and it's like everybody knows their role. When you look at these other teams that got stars, everybody wants to be the big man on campus, right?
Yep.
Look at Phoenix, how that just dissolved. Get KD, get Bradley Beal.
Yeah.
What happened? They was one of the worst teams in the league. So the model has to change. Everything changes in time, just like with baseball. Like New York used to always just go grab all the pieces and win. Then that model changed when you had teams like Arizona, who had one of the lowest salaries, but they had good pitching, win the World Series.
Yeah.
And you see these things changing with time. You can't have the same model. The Yankees are still trying to do the same model and buy, and they haven't won in years.
Right.
So when are you going to change and say, hey, we got to get young talent instead of going to get everybody they lose to, they go buy their best player to beat them. They lost to Houston.
They couldn't get Shohei because Shohei's got like
they lost to Houston. They go get their best pitcher. Like, you can't do that again. That was back in the 90s. You can't do that in the 2000s. Change your philosophy. But that's what happened into basketball, right?
Right.
You had OKC, who last year was young and didn't understand. This year they understood, took the next step. Over the East, you had injuries, but even without the injuries, I still think Indiana would have won because, like NFL Girl said, they're a team with a great coach. And we're not really giving the coach credit because he's put pieces and plans in place for Indiana to succeed. You got the players, but that coach got to be right there with them. And I spoke about Denver coach, and I knew it was going to hurt them in the long run. You cannot fire your coach going into the playoff. You can't do that. And they survived one series that they shouldn't have survived. If it wasn't for the James Harden effect, as always, they wouldn't have lost. They would have won that series. So that coaching thing that I spoke about before is really pivotal when you go into the playoffs, because we never seen that before. You going into the playoff and you fire your coach.
I mean, Memphis did the same thing and it didn't work for them either. I didn't understand that either. To me, you basically punted the playoffs. You basically weren't serious about trying to win at that point. Because if you were, you wouldn't fire your coach before the playoffs.
At least not right before the playoffs.
Right before the playoffs?
See, you understand what I'm saying? Like, you either do it, earlier in the season, or you wait till after the playoffs.
After the playoffs.
He's already shown you that they're playoff bound. See it out to the end.
Yeah. And if it doesn't work.
And they still, if you were already planning on firing him anyway, let him finish out, see how this ends. Maybe it works out in your favor. You understand? Like maybe you're not gonna make it to the final because you're not getting past OKC. But the whole point is that maybe you get further.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but OKC just was the more dominant team. You understand? Sure. Like watching like Minnesota getting past Denver kind of surprised me, but again, that was a younger squad. But then seeing how they played against OKC, who is what did we just say? A whole team playing cohesive. Even their bench players knew their roles.
Yeah.
They got rid of Josh Giddey, brought in Alex Caruso. And what did Alex Caruso do in this series?
One of the best pickups in the offseason.
Who on what a phenomenal pickup he was.
Yeah.
You understand? Like, and that team, everybody understands their role. But all of them know that it isn't about any one player. Yes, I know SGA won the MVP. Yes, I know he is the focal point, but they all know their role and all know how to play together. That's what other teams were lacking this season.
But I think to your point, like SGA, I think as much as he knows he's the focal point, he still will. He's all about the team and cohesiveness and all that. When they do post-game interviews, all of them are together. He's a focal point of that. So
bingo.
That's the thing. And I agree with both of your sentiments. I mean, with going to the Indiana game, I mean the Knicks, I'm kind of glad the Knicks lost because those fans were driving me fucking batshit. Those fans were just talking entirely too much shit. That's
just New York fans. That's just New York.
Oh, I know. But it's like, and to me, I felt the series was lost in game one. When the Knicks lost that, when they had the 10-point lead, and somehow just gagged and choked it away, and then they lost. And then they lost the next game. I felt, wow, okay, this series is probably done because I don't see the Knicks now coming back. Because to your point, depth. Indiana has depth. They got bench. They got pieces. The Knicks, they rotate what? They have a bench of what? Maybe 8 guys. They will maybe go 8 deep, maybe at best. And I think to your point, I mean, yes, Brunson's great. Love Brunson. Love Towns, but you need pieces, you need depth. The NBA, to your point, Smooth, is, and I love what you said, it's changed. You cannot just rely on their main guys. That is not going to win you a championship anymore. That's done. So you have to have depth pieces, and the Knicks don't have that. Yeah. So that's why, to me, they were cooked. And I mean, credit to Indiana. I mean, Siakam, played great. Really, really played great in Game 7. I mean, Halliburton, again, I think we need to the narrative of him being overrated, I think, is kind of silly at this point because it's
a joke now.
It's a joke now because how are you just then at that point you just don't like him. Just say you don't like him. Just say I don't.
And
that's
fine. That's fine. But just admit that that's what it is.
Just say, hey, I don't like Halliburton, but don't say he's overrated. Let's not do that. Like, well, now we're not being honest. So we gotta let's not do that. So listen, I was stunned a little bit that Indiana got in, but hey, they did their thing. They won. I watched the game last night. To your point, Thomas Bryant coming off the bench and making threes and blocking shots shocked the hell out of me. I was like, damn, if he's making threes, the Knicks are cooked. And everyone's now blaming Tibbs and all, like, that's the going trend with the Knicks. They're going to blame Tibbs because, Tibbs has no bench and he just wears his players out and blah, 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 blah. Well, that's what he is. So what the fuck are you going to do? Fire him then and get some.
Exactly.
Why is he still your coach if you believe
that part? Thank you.
If you think that he's the reason that, then get rid of him.
Yeah, get rid of him. And then what are you going to do? Listen,
exactly.
You guys, listen, Brunson's a great player, but you guys lucked out with Brunson. Let's not kid ourselves because you guys who are kissing Brunson's ass were probably the same Knicks fans who were like, oh my God, we gave Brunson all that money. So
exactly.
Stop acting like now all of a sudden you love Brunson so much. Because I guarantee, I'm sure I saw when he got the deal, everyone like, really? Brunson? Pay him. But, I listen, good for Indiana. I know this is not the NBA finals that they want because obviously it's 2 mid-market teams, but I think it's going to be a great finals personally. And to OKC, they were going to beat Minnesota. As much as I love Anthony Edwards and I love his progression and all that, and I think Anthony Edwards is fine. I know everyone was ripping him for the press conference.
And I like Julius Randle and the way that he showed up.
Listen,
I'm saying, like the way he showed up, but
they were
going to be fine. They're absolutely going to be fine.
OKC is a well-oiled machine.
But Julius Randle's not going to show up every game. That's why he was
bingo.
And you have to.
Same thing with Rudy Gobert. That's the same problem with Rudy Gobert. Rudy Gobert will drop 27 and 20, and the next game he scores 6, and you're like,
That's just
What are we doing?
But Gobert's been in the league now to where that you have to just know that's what he is.
You just know that it is what it is, and you
have to accept that. I know it sucks. And again, I saw people ripping. I'll get your there's Vio. I'll get y'all's take on like what everyone was ripping, like Anthony Edwards. Your thoughts on the Anthony Edwards criticism, if you felt it was fair, because I know everyone like Gilbert Arenas was ripping him, and who is it? I think Portis from Milwaukee was ripping him for his comments at the in the post.
I'm gonna rip his ass too.
Vio Walker.
Just jump in, huh, Vio? Just jump in.
Jump in. Vio just be showing up late.
I told y'all. Hey, remember I told y'all I figured the shit out. Remember I told y'all last time I figured that shit out.
All right, so Vio, we're talking about the NBA finals, or sorry, the NBA playoffs. We're wrapping up. So, what were your thoughts on the Eastern Conference Finals yesterday?
I thought the Knicks clearly got out coached.
Oh.
Clearly. There's no way that the Knicks had more talent. They clearly got out coached. How is Landry Shamet playing until Game 5?
That was it. I saw him against. I was like, oh,
why is Cameron playing at all? You remember? Look, I'm gonna tell you where the series turned. This was turned to series. Hey, and by the way, greetings everybody. I'm sorry, I'm so rude. I'm sorry. NFL girl, Smooth, welcome back, sir.
Thank you.
Welcome back, Mike. Thank you for having me, my friend. Greetings. I gotta do it right.
Of course.
But dude, dude. It was, I think, in the fourth quarter, it was like a 5-point lead, right? And they took Brunson out and they put Cameron Payne in. When they sat his little ass down, dog, they was down by 12 late in the game. And it was like about 4 minutes, and the Knicks was trying hard to come back at that point, and they came just short. Had his ass not been in the game, they probably could have finished that game and won that one. And we would have been
talking about?
Game 2.
Game 2.
Because I was going in on Mitchell Robinson too. How sorry he was.
I felt for me, I felt the series turned in Game 1 when they lost.
Game 1 when they lost Game 1.
No, because you know what? Because the Knicks held tight enough in Game 2 to where they could have won.
You're talking okay.
It was a 2-possession game at the late. You know what I mean? That one little sub. Look, that's why I say coaching. That one little sub cost them almost an 8-9 point total difference. That's big.
Yeah, I agree with that, Vo. But when you lose Game 1 as the home team, and you had a lead, and then they catch back up with you within that 35 seconds, and they beat you in overtime, that takes your heart away a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like
it can't.
But it did.
It did though. It did.
I don't disagree, Vio, but to me, it did.
It did.
Well, but none of us knew. But none of us knew with 6 minutes of the fourth that the Knicks was going to win or lose. We didn't know that. We just knew it. It was a close game, and they could lose again.
You're talking about Game 1, or you're talking about Game 1 or Game 2?
Talking about Game 2. Game 2.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
Because look, Game 1 is irrelevant. They won, right? That's it. If you split, you okay. The problem is that the problem is that you didn't have the opportunity to you didn't give yourself the opportunity to split with the coaching decision. You put yourself in a bad position, and Indiana. And I'm gonna tell you the difference, and I'm gonna tell you why Smooth, you're right. Game 1, the Knicks outplayed the Pacers.
They did.
Right? And they did. They clearly outplayed them, and they lost. That hurts. Game 2, the Pacers outplayed the Knicks, clearly. To me, from what I saw. Mm-hmm. However, the Knicks were still in the game. I thought that was encouraging. I said, well, if it's still that close and they're at home, they should pull it off. But when he put Cameron Payne in there, and then that's when Halliburton went to work.
Yeah.
He went to work, dog. Yeah. You got this thing. Oh, barbecue chicken.
They don't have no depth though, right? So they don't have depth.
No, they don't have no depth. But I mean, man, look, like I said, there's no way they should have. Shaman should have played. I mean, he could shoot the basketball. You needed to score, so he should have been playing a lot sooner. You know what I mean? Mitchell Robinson, I don't know what he was, if he was just drunk the first 2 games, I don't know. But he turned it on after a while. You know what I mean? I was getting in this shit. I was getting all in this shit. You know what I mean? But he turned it on. But I mean, overall, Thibodeau, man, look, I'm a Bulls fan. If there's anybody that knows about Coach Tibbs, it's your boy.
Okay? Oh, I'm sure.
Okay? He only gonna get your ass so far. This is a guy that had my guy, my third favorite player of all time, who I love to death, who's in Europe right now, right? Playing in the fourth quarter with a double-digit lead, bro.
Yeah. Man, he tore up his leg.
Who does that?
Thibodeau.
You know what I mean?
Does that.
Yeah.
Wearing down your players. You know what I mean? Like, and then also too, coaching. You got to have a better offense than just Brunson pick and roll, Brunson pick and roll, Brunson pick and roll, Brunson pick and roll. That's all they did, right? Brunson pick and roll.
A lot of pick and roll.
That's it. You got to have a better offense than that, dog. Like, give Miles Bridges some shots. Get him some looks. Get Cat when that game when they won in Indiana, and they was going through Cat, they looked a lot better.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
When Brunson was on the bench.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But Thibodeau, he was too dumb to like, oh, okay. And he just went right back to the same shit when Brunson. I'm like, dog, didn't you learn from the win? Like, coaches learn from the win. You learn from what you do right, and then you adjust. Thibodeau, he just don't adjust. Look, you got to listen to
you think that Brunson can operate any other way though?
Yeah, no, I think mixing with some shit. Brunson's a decent catch and shoot guy. You know what I mean? Like he's okay. Like, mix it up. Like get some shit where Bridges is slashing. Like, Bridges can score. He's at 20 points per game. God, Bridges was on any other team, he'd probably be the lead scorer.
He probably would.
I agree with that, but I think Brunson has to have the ball in his hand in order for him to operate the way he does. He can't. He's too small to be coming off picks and stuff like that and get a shot off. I truly believe.
I mean, you can make that, I guess, 50 to 60% of your offense. I'm saying don't make it 90%.
I agree, but I think you're kind of handcuffed when you got a small guard like that, and you going through that small guard.
But they didn't have other guys that can score. If they didn't have other guys that could not score, it'd be totally different. Karl-Anthony Towns and OG, they could score. So
OG was scoring.
You need opportunities for other players. That's what good coaches do. That's what Indiana did. Hell, look at Neesmith.
Yeah.
Motherfucker hit 8.
Carlisle did a hell of a job.
Who thought Neesmith would bust your ass for 8 threes? You see what I'm saying? Like, other people. You know what I mean? Nembhard.
Nembhard was
NFL girl, you gonna laugh at me. This nigga Tony, what's his name? Thomas Bryant. Where this nigga come from?
Bryant,
This nigga come out the crowd and hit 3 threes.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like they was open.
When he got in the game, he got a quick block and they got a fast break.
But you see how they were moving the ball for other people to get opportunities. And that's how you win. That's why I think Oklahoma City gonna run their ass into the ground. That's another story for another day.
So Vio, I'll actually pose this question to Vio, but I'll pose it to Vio, I'll pose this question to you, but I'm gonna pose it to everybody as well. So you're the Knicks GM or the front office. What do you do with this roster? What do you feel?
Give me a new coach.
You're firing Tibbs.
That's what I'm doing first.
And then you're gonna just revamp the roster, I'm guessing.
Get a new coach. Because there's no we can't say that there was an injury away where we can run it back. Where it was something like where we could say, oh well, if this scenario happens, then let's give him this chance. Dude, we were the most healthiest. Look, NFL girl, smooth, Mike. Let me break this shit down. If there was any other time your ass was gonna go to the finals, you had a fluke. You had Cleveland get eliminated, the number 1 overall seed. You had Boston with 2 fluky losses and an injury.
Yeah.
You had almost everything go right in your favor. You know what I mean? To where you even had home court advantage in the Eastern Conference playoffs with a healthy team damn near. If you cannot do it like that, then it's time to reach. It's time to from the top to the bottom. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. NFL girl, what say you? You're the front office of the Knicks. What do you do next year? Do you fire Tibbs? How do you try to revamp to give this Knicks?
They're going to try and keep Tibbs there because they think that Tibbs has the potential of leading a player like Brunson and especially, building more cohesion with Cat. Because wasn't this still Cat's first season there in New York? It was his first
season, yeah.
And so, they feel like they need to build something there. And maybe Thibodeau is the answer. Is he, let me be clear, is he the long-term answer? No, I don't think he is. But is he the short term while they, go into their second year of having Cat there and trying to bring in, have more OG step up more in games and things like that or whatever, see what Brunson can do. Where the hell was Josh Hart during the playoffs?
Kind of disappeared.
Totally disappeared. And so I think in the short term, he's the answer. I don't think they're going to get rid of him in this offseason, because they're gonna put it, like I said, they're gonna put it mainly on. Well, they hadn't built the full cohesion yet, or whatever. This was Cat's first season there in New York and blah blah blah. Which, okay, fine. I'm gonna let that slide for the first year. Next year, if this bullshit happens and we have a repeat of this, or there's any fall off at all, let's say they don't make it back into the playoffs at all, Thibodeau gotta go. It's because it's clearly then it's him, and not the fact that, oh, we don't have a whole cohesive element. What is it that all of us are repeating? It's about a team.
Yeah.
The teams that are winning, the two teams that are in the finals, are the two teams that play together all season long as a team. Like you mentioned with the SGA interviews, when SGA does his post-game interviews where he goes off for like 35 points, 35 and 10 or something like that, he brings his boys there with him. They're all standing there together. It's about building a team. If what you think the long-term answer is in New York is building a cohesive team that plays together, and you think Thibodeau is the answer in the short term, fine. But I like I said, I don't think he's the answer in the long term, and I don't think that he'd be able to get them to the finals and and carry them to a championship. That's just my feeling on that situation.
Smooth, what say you? Well, you're the GM or executive of the Knicks.
So Tibbs is about dealing with stars, right?
Mm-hmm.
He's not about dealing with teams. You never seen Tibbs with just a regular team built on cohesiveness. So that's why Tibbs runs his stars in the ground, because that's all he's used to. So at the end of the day, the Knicks didn't have any depth, and he ran the wrong system for the talent he had.
Yep.
You cannot run a system that's guard dependent when you have OG, you have Bridges, and you have Cat. That should be a free-flowing offense, not a guard-driven offense with pick and rolls. If he'd have opened it up and let these guys play basketball, it would have been a free-flowing game. But he didn't. He ran pick and roll, pick and roll, pick and roll, pick and roll. And the NBA is changing to a team environment. Indiana has a team, and OKC has a team. And those are the teams in the finals. You see all these teams that had 1-2 stars, Minnesota knocked out, Denver knocked out, LA knocked out, because the NBA is changing to a team environment. You got OKC with all these draft picks, and look how young they are, and they're already in the finals. That's just going to build, and build. The Knicks don't have any draft picks. They dumped all the money into the team, into 4 players. And now you have no depth because you can't get mid-level players that want to come over there, because they watching OG stand around and watch Brunson. They're watching Bridges stand around and watch Brunson. Players see that on TV. They don't want to come and watch Brunson just dribble for 25 seconds.
Yeah, so, and give it to somebody in like the last 6 seconds.
Yeah, until you get a new coach in there that knows how to run offense with that kind of talent they have, you're going to be in the same position. So like NFL girls said, they're going to run it back with Tibbs because they don't know any better. They had some success that they haven't had in a while. So they looking at it like, oh, we did so great. We wasn't supposed to be there. But like VO said, everything fell in place for you, and you still ain't make it. And you lost to an Indiana team that was not highly talked about.
No.
A team that they didn't even know about. They tried to say Halliburton was overrated. But Halliburton has stepped up every game when those lights was on him. Every single time. So you can't say he's overrated at all. And Thomas Bryant coming off the bench and hitting threes and getting blocks is just a testament to a team environment.
Yeah.
He was so happy that you got Siakam from your Toronto Raptors getting buckets.
Yeah.
The Baylor rookie, what's the name? Josh Walker. He coming in getting buckets.
Yeah, Walker.
Yeah,
I think he messed up his knee though, but yeah.
Yeah.
Prior to that, no, I agree. I mean, listen, I think if I'm the Knicks, I don't see them firing Tibbs. I think to your point, I mean, they got in the Eastern Conference Finals. How are you going to fire a coach that got you the Eastern Conference Finals? That would be the narrative. All that being said, I don't know if to NFL Girls' point, I don't know if Tibbs is a long-term answer. But at the same time, I think for the Knicks to win, I think to y'all's point, team, right? You got it. Like the NBA has evolved, man. You got to have a team. You got to have depth. The way Tibbs is coaching is just like archaic, and I don't think you can run your guys like the way you run. Like it just, to me, it doesn't work. It's just not working. Right?
Yeah, go on. Let me cut you off. Let me say this. I know I'm the only one that's okay. I'm probably the listener to say fire him. I wouldn't even say fire him. I would say, but you need to get somebody in here who has an offensive mind, though.
Right.
Oh
Like
no,
you need to get
I think yeah.
you need to get because this offense needs to evolve.
No, I agree with
That's
that.
what I
So I
said.
think we all can agree with
That's what I
that. I'm saying I don't believe they're going to fire him because ultimately I just think they're going to probably keep his ass because they got to Eastern Conference Finals.
Right.
Yeah.
It's not that I don't think he probably does. I mean, Tibbs, I think is okay as a coach. I don't think he's all that. I think he's kind of a little overhyped, but that's just me. But no, I mean, yeah, I agree. I think just with the way the team is set up with the Knicks, I mean, they're going to run it back. I don't know how long you can run it back with this. As long as Tibbs is there, I think to your point, Vio, you got to get an offensive-minded coach who can kind of drop shit that's not this just pick and roll all day. Mm-hmm. It's almost like the Raptors offense with Kyle Lowry and DeMar DeRozan, where all they did is pick and roll to death. That's all they did is pick and roll, pick and roll, pick and roll, pick and roll.
And it sounds like we're also all saying the same thing is your coaching has to evolve as well. Because look at what Milwaukee Bucks were so pressed to get Doc Rivers in there. And what did Doc Rivers do with that team? Not a damn thing.
Overrated Doc
Not
Rivers.
A damn thing.
Hey, can I and to latch on to that, guess who was an assistant of Doc Rivers?
Thibodeau.
Ding, ding, ding.
Hey, listen, Doc Rivers has lived off that 2008 championship. He has lived off that. He has milked
champion.
Milked it like a cow.
And they lived off of their defense. And who was the defensive coach?
Tibbs.
Yeah.
Bingo.
I don't disagree. Yeah, they're just gonna milk that forever.
Yeah,
exactly.
He self-destructed with the Clippers, Atlanta, and now he's still at the top. I mean, no, Philly. Sorry about that.
Philly, yeah, and then now Milwaukee.
And now Milwaukee, but he's still a hot name. I don't get it.
Hey,
and what does he do? He comes in and runs teams into the ground.
I don't understand.
Yeah.
He literally is still living off a 2008 championship. Because tell me what he's done then. Tell me what he's done since then. What championship has he won?
Lose.
The choking championship. If choking was a championship, a Doc Rivers would have like 10 of those.
Oh, wait. My bad. They won the play-in tournament. Yeah. No. The mid-season tournament. What was that? Yeah, he won the NBA tournament, the mid-season tournament. I
don't know.
I forget the name of it.
Some old college type tournament, man.
They won the in-season tournament. It was get more eyeballs on it. That's all. They won the in-season tournament.
I didn't even know about it or watch it, so the eyeballs didn't follow. I didn't watch that. I'm like,
you're like a month into the season and you having some in-season tournament,
which no one knows the purpose of. It was just a waste of whatever. So I mean, we'll go to the Western Conference now. So I mean, obviously, OKC won and beat up on Minnesota. I think there was a lot of controversy around Anthony Edwards' press conference for some reason. People were bothered about what he was saying about it. I watched it. I didn't really feel there was an issue. I mean, ultimately, I think he said that, he feels like he's going to run it back and all this. And everyone's like, well, there's no guarantee you're going to run it back and all this. Everyone just started bugging out and all this stuff. So, I mean, I guess I get y'all's take. I mean, Anthony Edwards is like 23 years old. He's still a kid. My take, simply put, is I think he's fine. I think the Timberwolves are fine. I think they're going to put pieces around him. Obviously, they ran into a juggernaut of OKC with everybody clicking, and Anthony Edwards is trying to do everything on his own. And Gobert isn't a scorer; that's not who he is. To y'all point that you made earlier, Julius Randle will play a good game, and then he'll kind of just disappear for some odd reason. And Mike Conley is Mike Conley. He's great, but he's 18-year vet, so
it's spurts. Yeah,
it's it's asking a lot. So, do you think it's fair or foul the criticism that Anthony Edwards received? I'll go to NFL Girl. Do you feel any criticism that he did? You feel he deserves criticism for his Western Conference Finals performance, or
no? And I don't think he deserves criticism for that, for the press conference either. He was doing everything he could to try and carry that team. This is, again, what we're talking about. It's got to be a team that plays together cohesively. He did not have 4 other stars around him all playing consistently over a series. He didn't. He had Rudy Gobert show up one night fabulously and then disappear for the rest of the series. And the other nights, Mike Conley stepped up. There was a night when there was 2 nights Julius Randle stepped up, but you need that consistency over every night. So he was literally trying to will that team into the final by himself. As far as him being arrogant and cocky, isn't that what you want in your star players? Is a little bit of arrogance and cockiness of, I'm confident. I know I'm the best player that's out there on this court. You kind of want a little bit of that, because if I'm not number one, who am I? Do you understand? Right, exactly. or how they say,
and Ricky Bobby, if you're not first, you're last.
First, you're last. Right.
That's
so you kind of want a little bit of that assholish behavior. Now, some of the stuff off the court, we're not going to get into. He's a little bit of a we're not worried about his off the court drama. On the court, he is a star. He's allowed to talk his shit or whatever. But you can't put it all on him on why that team fell apart the way that they spectacularly like they did. They were going up against a juggernaut in OKC that plays together. Everything I keep repeating over and over again, that plays together as an entire unit. Yes, SGA is the centerpiece, but that is a team that plays together with a star player.
Well said. VO, I know you had picked Anthony Edwards. You were, high on him. How did you feel about his Western Conference performance? And do you feel the criticism he's recently gotten is fair or foul?
I don't know. I kind of feel like he let me down a little bit because of the simple fact that if you, and I just need to know like what do you want to be at this point? Because like when you lose a game, right, and you say stuff like, "Well, I made the right play," and you only took like, can somebody bring up his stats for me from the series, please, if they don't mind? From each game in the Western Conference. I want to look at his shot attempts.
I know the game he had 15 points. He didn't take a lot of shots in that game. That I remember.
Mm-hmm.
I felt like a lot of these young guys, man, like they fight back on a lot of shit. Like I felt like he was asked to do something, and I felt like he thought he could dominate by what he was asked to do, right? Because he kept saying, like, when he said, "I made the right basketball play," that's the LeBron James response to me. That sounds like a nigga that's been hanging around LeBron James too much. I made the right play. When you're a certain guy, there is no right play. There's 20. I need 27 shot attempts. I need 25 shot attempts. This is you. This is you. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, we brought in Randall. Yeah, we have all these guys. But at the end of the day, I need to see if you give yourself an opportunity and just say, you know what, it's on me, and if I lose, it's on me. We're comfortable with that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what I'm gonna get from him. Like, I feel like they need to bring in an alpha vet. Like, I was talking to my boy just before we got on here. I said I think they need a guy like Kevin Durant. Personally,
there's a rumor that they're trying to get Kevin Durant. Apparently,
yeah. You see why? Because you can't. Because in that kind of game, SGA had a number of attempts. Yes, he said he played as a team, but I bet you if you look at his shot attempts, it was in the 20s. It was somewhere in there. It was somewhere in there.
It was.
No, 13 ain't gonna get it done, my nigga. Especially like NFL girl said, you got sporadic players that you really can't depend on. The only other guy that I was impressed with, I liked, was Jaden McDaniels.
Yeah, me too.
You know what I mean, he was the only one that really kind of came with it every night to help him. But when you're the team and you did and you talk the shit, like, I have no problem with the shit he talk like that. Like NFL girl said, cocky. I don't want a player that ain't cocky. Every player is cocky. You know what I'm saying? Any great player is. You know what I mean? That's what it's all about. So that's why I don't mind. But when you tell me you made the right play, you only take 13 shot attempts, and the guy that you played against has a team better than yours and still took 20 plus, like, I can't trust you. I can't trust you because even I need to see like, hey man, I'm gonna do whatever it takes to win. I don't know if you're gonna do whatever it takes to win. Like, you already got paid. Like, these guys, different mentality. You know what I mean? Like look at Halliburton. Halliburton, when he didn't score, remember when he didn't play well in the other game? His shot attempts, he had a damn near 30 triple-double in the next game. You see what I'm saying? Like, that's what we want to see. And you haven't shown that, and you've had an opportunity twice. Now, you won Western Conference away from being James Harden. You really
oh
are.
no, that's a hell of a comparison.
Yeah, you won because like they said, ain't no guarantee you're gonna get back. Teams gonna get better. Like OKC, they the youngest team. They younger than the Auburn college team, so they gonna be back. You got I'm sure the Lakers, they're not gonna be a great team, but they're gonna be challenging. Denver's gonna be back. The Spurs gonna be better. Houston gonna be back. You know what I mean? That's you can't say, well, I'm only 23. You may never look at Kevin Garnett, my nigga, got to the Western Conference Finals and didn't see that hole again for 6 years. He got back to Boston.
They got the Boston.
It ain't guaranteed, my nigga. You know what I'm saying? It's just not. So those things, man, I look at, man. You think Kobe Bryant would have took 13 shots, bro? I think any great player. I think
Except for
there's been
James
games.
Harden.
Maybe
There's
James
games.
Harden would. James Harden would take 13 shots.
No, there's been games with James Harden. No,
He
there's
took
games with James
5.
Harden don't do nothing.
He took
Right.
5.
Oh, yeah.
That's why we criticize him, right? Like in big games, there's big game we take like 7 shots, 8 shots. You're like, what is he doing? Like I thought, like why he ain't taking over? You know what I mean? Like why he? Well, this is what I get with you, nigga. When you tell me
That's
you give me
why
13 shots, you know what I
Right.
mean? You see what I'm saying, Smooth? Smooth, you get what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
absolutely.
You get where I'm coming from now? Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, because
telling me.
that's why I don't know why people talk highly about James Harden. I never did.
So when they come out, you the next Jordan, the next Jordan ain't gonna say I made the right basketball play. He gonna say I shot it, and you know what? I did what I had to do. You know what I mean? So on that aspect, I ain't gonna say I'm on the other. That's why I'm a little disappointed, man. That's kind of my take.
That's fair.
I know it's not probably popular, but
No, that's
I
fair.
like greatness. Me, like I said, I'm too nostalgic. I've seen so much great even Magic Johnson, all the great players, Tracy McGrady, Allen Iverson, all of them. You know what I mean? When it's a do or die game, they don't just
Old.
yeah. You know what I mean?
They're
like,
not passing the ball.
Right.
No, I got
If
you.
I'm at the top, if I'm at the top of the key, I'm not passing that shit. What you mean?
Right. You know what I mean? Like, especially NFL girls, especially if we lose after this, like we go home. No.
That part. Exactly.
No. And I got Mike Conley over here, or Julius Randle, who plays sometimes if he ain't in foul trouble. Jay McDaniels, who's okay, give me 15. And nobody else? No,
Right.
man. 13 is unacceptable.
I got you.
That's my take.
What did Shaq say that Kobe said? He said, hey, yeah, Shaq said he went to Kobe and was like, hey, it's no I in team. He said, yeah, but it's the ME in that motherfucker.
Yeah, hell yeah. Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
That's facts.
Hell yeah.
That's facts. If you the star of that player and y'all having a rough ass night, you gotta step up.
Yeah. What if
you at the top of the key, you ain't passing the ball. You shoot that motherfucker.
If I know that if we lose this game, I'm gonna be the subject of criticism.
Yep.
And it falls on me, I'll be damned if I just sit here and let it go like that. That's what he did.
Facts.
And that's some James Harden type shit. That's why I said you got one more Western Conference Finals to do some shit like that again, or even if you get there again. You know what I mean? Like that's
the key word. If you even get that far again, because all them other teams are going to learn from OKC. Mm-hmm. Oh, we got to get a young, cohesive team playing around them. There's no guarantee that Minnesota gets back there again.
You gotta look. We know what this playoffs has taught me, guys, family. This playoffs has taught me that, and the Bulls are starting to see that too, from what I hear. You gotta have 1 through 9. Got to shoot the 3.
Boom.
1 through 9. Your roster lineup, 1 through 9. Everybody got to shoot the 3.
Or be able to
what
shoot.
I mean? Look at Indiana. Everybody that come off that bench can shoot the 3.
Yep.
Oklahoma City. Everybody down there except for Hardenstein can come off that bench and shoot the 3. That teaches me to believe that you need niggas that can catch and shoot the 3 to be successful. You need 1 through 9. Yeah. It ain't about the isolation. Give it to him. Score all this. You need guys that can cut. Can you drive straight line to the basket, right? Because that's what they do. And can you catch and shoot? That's what you need to be able to do in the NBA right now. That's what it looks like.
Yeah.
So
Smooth. So Smooth. What say you about the whole Anthony Edwards situation? Do you think it's fair?
So Anthony Edwards is young, so he's going to say whatever. So it is what it is. But I think that OKC had a plan to take him out of the game. So I give OKC credit for that. Not too much on Anthony Edwards. I looked at some games. There's nothing he could do. They would double team him, and because they know they playing 2.5 against 9, you can do that.
Oh shit!
So it's 2.5 against 9, and all you got to do is take Anthony Edwards.
So who's the half?
So you got Julius Randle. Julius Randle is the half. He's the half.
Okay, Julius Randle's half. Okay, got you.
Because the other two, Anthony Edwards is the man, right? But if you cut the head off, everything gonna fall. And that's what they did. They double teamed him, warm out. And you take him out of the game, you put Mike Conley in the game, it changes the whole momentum. So I give OKC because OKC leads with defense. They may score a lot of points, but they lead with defense. And that's what they did throughout this whole playoffs, and that's why they were successful. Anthony Edwards needs a better team around him to be successful. You know, with James Harden had teams around him. He just wouldn't take the shots. So I'm not going to say he's one playoff away from being James Harden because he hasn't been in an environment where he had great pieces around him to be successful. And he willed his way past the Lakers and he willed his way past teams, but you can't will your way going against a team.
Well, he had a better lineup before. The year before, those guys, I would argue to say, was a better lineup than this year's lineup.
No, because they had Cat.
Yeah,
they had Cat was one of them. Yeah,
and we still getting the same results.
I agree, but also you got to look at the coaching as well, right? The coach is now putting him in a position where he can run off picks and do. When you try to get the ball to Anthony Edwards at the top of the key, they just double him, and they know if they double him, the other guys ain't gonna hit a shot. Go bang, go hit no shot, you know. Yeah. And all the rest of the dudes ain't gonna hit a shot. So all you got to do is double him. This reverse on the OKC side, you double SGA. You got Williams that can hit a shot. You got Holmgren. You got the bench. Everybody's not scared to shoot the ball. Over in Minnesota, them dudes don't want to shoot the ball because they Anthony Edwards, just like the Knicks, Brunson. And you cannot do that in today's NBA. Yeah. You got to have 1 through 9. You got to have people that can score and people that's not scared to shoot the ball. Right. And when you don't have that, this is what happens. They should have got swept, right? They should have got swept. They lucky they even got one because it was a terrible matchup. The Knicks as well. The Knicks lucky they got 2 games because that was a terrible matchup for them. Now you got past all these injury-riddled teams and you all excited, but the Knicks, you wasn't that great of a team. You just went up against teams that couldn't stop Brunson, and that's why y'all won. If they could have stopped Brunson, you wouldn't have got through those other 2 series because it was a Brunson, and them teams couldn't stop him. But Indiana had pieces they could throw at him, wear him down, and you see what happened. Just like Anthony Edwards. OKC had pieces they could throw at him, double him, wear him down. He's on the bench tired. So your legs are gone. So by the time it gets to the 3rd or 4th quarter, you don't want to shoot those shots because your legs are gone because you got worn out by a team. Once again, it's the team concept. Yeah. In the NBA, if you don't have a team, you have no shot.
Well, all that being said, okay, we got the NBA Finals now. So who are we picking to hoist the Larry O'Brien Trophy? So who am I going to pick? You know what, Smooth? I'm going to go to you because you always kind of. Okay. So who do you got? You got OKC, you got Indiana, and why?
Okay, so I think on the OK side, they have 3 guys that got to show up: Holmgren, SGA, and Williams. Mm-hmm. If one of them falters, they're in trouble. Because you see, when Williams goes, they go. So if he don't come to play, it's a problem. I think Indiana has momentum. They have depth. And I think Indiana's going to win the championship. I really do. I think that it's set up for them after they've been through all those rigors and they're ready. Siakam has experience. He's won a championship before. Okay, she don't have nobody on that team that has been to a finals. So it's all new to them. Indiana has experience. Siakam can tell them, hey, this is how it's done. I've done it before. I think it's going to be a great series. I think it may go 7, but I'm just giving the edge to Indiana. I think Halliburton is playing out of his mind, and all these guys are gaining confidence because they playing as a team opposed to playing as individuals.
Well said. Vio, what say you? You got it. OKC or Pacers in the NBA Finals?
Yeah, man, I'm a roll with MVP, bro. They're like Kevin Garnett said. I don't know if y'all follow me, but I put on my story. I put what Kevin Garnett said about the Oklahoma City. He said they're like the Wu-Tang Clan. They got like 15 motherfuckers coming out. Somebody got an album coming out. You know what I'm saying? It's just boom, 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 and that's how the Oklahoma City Thunder is. Like it's because Jalen Williams would be the #1 player on any other team. Other team. He would be, I'm talking about, he would be the star player on any other. Like he's almost like James Harden was with OKC, kind of like that kind of shit. Almost the same. You know what I mean? Yeah, like he can have his own team, but he's the second option. You know what I'm saying? He's the second option. Then you got to worry about all those guys can shoot. All of them. all of them, and then and they do have somebody that have championship. You may knock his little championship experience, but
Oh yeah,
Alex Caruso, G.
I
AC.
forgot about Caruso.
Yeah.
I don't count no COVID championship as a
COVID finals.
Oh, there you
shit.
go.
Oh, good.
Oh man, no. Caruso, man, he's a big piece, dog.
He is, but I don't count that championship.
I feel like he could slow Halliburton down right away. I feel like if they put him on Halliburton, he's gonna slow him down right away. I don't think Indiana got
They put
anybody
him
that's
on
gonna slow.
Gobert. He slowed Gobert down.
Yeah, so
His little ass was on Gobert and slow Gobert. I mean, it's Gobert.
It's
so.
Gobert.
I'm telling you. So and
Okay.
then you got and then they are a matchup problem. Like they just I don't know. Oklahoma City cold, man.
Yeah. All right. So NFL girl would say you got the Pacers or the Thunder in the NBA Finals.
I gotta go Thunder in that. Again, it's kind of like what VO was saying. Think about the years that the MVP has gone to the championship and the MVP won the championship. We've had it with Joker's done it. We had it with, I think Giannis did it the year that he won. And so SGA having the MVP trophy, leading that team the way that he's been leading them. And I'm not, and to be clear, I'm not dismissing what the Pacers have done. You know what I mean? I've told y'all, I've loved watching them play. I've loved watching Halliburton go off. I've really loved watching Neesmith's game really take off this year. Love seeing Pascal Siakam show that he's still a good and viable player out there after being shit on after, years in Toronto. Oh, God.
They shitted on him here. Oh, my God.
For years, they've talked about him, seeing him play so well. Yeah. But OKC is just like a different animal right now. OKC is teaching people we got to go back to old school, play like a team, cohesive unit basketball. And like y'all keep saying, Jalen Williams would be a number one player in any other team. Wizards, my trash ass Wizards.
I was about to say. Go get Jalen Williams.
I promise you, tomorrow they would get that garbage ass team. Would love to have Jalen Williams there as their
already.
Yeah,
that part.
Yeah.
But he's not. He's the number 2 option behind SGA. So that's what I'm saying. And they've got stars all the way around. Even their bench players know where they fit. And I'm not. That's why. Again, this could go 6 or 7. Easily go 6 or 7. It probably go all the way to 7 because these are 2 teams that play cohesively as teams. But when it comes to a deeper bench, I do feel like OKC has the edge there. So that's why, personally, to me, and the way SGA has been leading this team all season long, he was able to get there, leave no doubt on who was the MVP all season long. So I definitely got to give it to the Thunder.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I love what the Pacers are doing. Pacers are playing great. I love Siakam. Glad he won Eastern Conference MVP. Deserved it. Again, to your point, NFL girl, he was shitted on so much here. It was just driving me fucking nuts. I'm glad he almost left because it just needed, To your point, Smooth, I agree. I think it will go 7 for sure. I would still take OKC in a close series just because I just think depth. I just think they got the depth, and they're just like, to be honest with, like the Wu-Tang, they just got so much. They just come at you in waves, and that's the thing. But all that being said, I think it's gonna be really good finals. I know from like a casual fan perspective, casual fans probably don't give a shit because it's not the stars. But I think in terms of like NBA basketball and purists and people that really appreciate NBA basketball and appreciate basketball, I think it's gonna be a great series.
I think people, the temperature I got is that people are refreshed, because.
Oh, that's good. Well, that's good because I'm glad because the stars are fine, but I'm like to see new blood. Like, let's get some new people up in there.
I think it's more the NBA that had an issue because, again, like we pointed out early on, they're small market teams.
Yeah,
you understand? They're not going to pull in the same type of audience that the Knicks would have or the Lakers would have. You understand? Like when you're dealing with or Boston would have when you're dealing with smaller market teams. You're not going to generate. They're worried about eyeballs at the end of the day. But again, the casual NBA fans, people that just love pure basketball for the love of the game, this is a phenomenal matchup. You understand? Like if you love pure basketball, these are the kind of teams that you want to have. 2 teams that are going to bust each other's ass because they both play. phenomenal.
Because to your point, if it was the Knicks and Thunder, I think the Thunder would have swept their ass. I don't think it would have been fucking close.
Exactly.
So it's better to have the Patriots.
Yeah, Thunder gonna beat either one of these teams.
Yeah, that part. It would have just been a nightmare shit show. So there's another sports finals that's taking place soon. The Stanley Cup playoffs.
Hey, is my boy still alive, dog?
Yes. And Vio, you know what? Vio is amazing. Vio is an amazing person. He's an enigma. Vio picked the Edmonton Oilers. For context fans, he's picked the Edmonton Oilers. But has probably not watched the game, but he just watched. He's rooting from afar.
I've seen that dude. I've seen him a couple of times.
Yes, so Vio, your pick is still alive. I think all of our our Western Conference pick is still alive. Yep. Eastern Conference picks not so much. We'll talk about that in a bit. Well, actually, we could talk about that now. Because I'm gonna
start.
We can start about your Capitals. We'll start about
we'll start with you. We'll start with you.
We're gonna start about my team. Well,
start
sure,
with you.
Because that's what we're here to. We're here to hear me rant about my stupid, dumb Maple Leafs. Okay. So I'm going to just say this because thank God we had a hiatus. Because if it was after the loss, oh God, if we did it then, it would have been bad. I realized this. I had an epiphany a few days ago about the Leafs. The Leafs are like a subpar spouse. That's what they are. They're a subpar, like if you're dating someone who's subpar, and you're with them and you like them, but like they're not doing their part to kind of, you're with them, you love them, you support them, but then like when you need them for something, you need them to step up, they don't do it. That's what the Maple Leafs are to me. They're a subpar spouse.
A half-ass.
Yeah, they're subpar. And again, this playoffs frustrating. I mean, listen, my friends were like livid when they watched Game 7. They were like in my chat, just like, this fucking team. This team fucking sucks. It's the same shit every year. They're just going off. I'll say this. The players, I'm blaming the players for this Game 7 fiasco that they did against Florida because you were up 2-0. NFL girl, you picked them to get swept. If that had happened, I wouldn't have been mad because listen, you got swept by the Stanley Cup champs. The fact that you went to Game 7 and to VO, you predicted it. You said if it goes to Game 7, they're probably not going to win, and that's exactly what fucking happened. That's why when me and Smooth did our pod, me and Smooth both said our teams this needs to be a do or die game. Both our teams need to step up and go out there and win. And what had happened? Both our teams my team got completely fucking dominated. Like they didn't even want to be there. My boy was at Game 5. He said they looked like they didn't want to be there. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? This is the fucking playoffs, and you're playing like you don't want to be there. You're going to pay all this fucking money. Austin Matthews is the highest paid player in the NHL. He has 3 goals in 18 playoff games outside the first round. What the fuck are you doing?
Look, man. That's why they're the champs, man. They have championship mentality.
No, you're right. Listen, me and Smooth talked about this before, and I agree with all of that. I agree, and I understand.
That's why they're the champs. That's why they are the champs right now.
But all that I am with you guys. I 1,000% understand your points. But to your point, if you guys are serious, if the Leafs players, and I'm talking about the players, if you guys are serious winning a championship, you guys got to fucking play better. You guys were up 2-0. If you guys were, let's say, behind in the whole series, and then, okay, cool. I got no problem with that because, hey, you're down by the chance. You were up 2-0. You go to Florida, you lose 2 games. Okay, cool. You come back to Toronto. I'm thinking, okay, it's Game 5. The fans are live. Everyone's like, yo, okay, we got. You come in, you get dominated 6-0. You don't want to fucking be there. You go to Florida. Okay, no one's expecting anything. You go there, you win 2-0. Oh, the fan base. Ooh, is the Leafs? Is it the year the Leafs?
You gotta give them credit though, Mike. You gotta give them credit for going to 7 games, though, Mike. You gotta give them credit.
Yeah, they fought back.
Dominated.
They fought back.
We got dominated 6-0, bro. We were down.
But Mike, you gotta give them credit.
Waste of time.
But Mike, you gotta give them credit for going into Florida and beating them 2-0 and going to a Game 7.
No,
it could have
been over. It could have been over.
No.
Look, Mike, they're the champs, Mike.
Absolutely not. This is why listen. I pushed back on all that shit. You know why? Because 2 years ago when they played against Tampa Bay, it was the same shit they did 2 years ago against Tampa Bay, who was the Stanley Cup champs, and they went to Game 7 and they got their ass kicked again in Game 7.
Man, y'all don't have the experience.
Hey, bro, they've been together for 7 years. 7 years. That's not experience.
You guys have not been to the second round, right? A lot, right? So because you haven't been to the second round a lot, sure you can make the playoffs. That means nothing.
No, but at some point, 7 years. I can see. Listen, your point. Okay, your point.
Mike, you said You
Yeah,
said yourself, goaltending was shaky for you guys, right?
Well,
that's how you lose 6-0 because goaltending is shaky.
Yeah,
right?
hey,
it was shaky, yeah.
right there. And I don't even know hockey. I know that's the truth.
But
Yeah,
I wouldn't even put
you
it on the
said,
goal.
Mike,
Listen, I won't even
but
put it on the
normally-
goaltender. This is why I
Mike,
would put on the goal.
Normally, y'all would have lost
Mhm.
in Florida, right?
Probably.
Yeah. So you guys are making progress.
No,
Because y'all
we're
did-
not. No, we're not. We're not making progress. I 1,000%
man.
disagree.
Come on,
Look,
Mike.
doing the
look,
same-
you know what? Look, you know what the
Yeah,
problem,
no,
Mike,
no, no.
man.
You've done
you know what
the
the problem
same
was, Mike?
shit.
Mike,
You've done
Mike,
the
you know what
same
the problem
shit
was,
for
Mike?
7 years.
Mike, can I tell you what the problem was, Mike?
Go on.
Mike,
Go
let
on.
me tell you what the problem was, Mike.
Go on.
One team had more to lose than you than the other.
Mhm.
Y'all ain't the champs. They are. They like, we lose, we ain't gonna have a chance to repeat. Right now, we on top of the world.
No,
Let's
I agree
keep
with
it.
that, but the Leafs
And
should
they
have
play
that
like
same
it. And they
mentality,
play.
no?
No, but
How?
y'all
Y'all
got
ain't
the
the
champs.
champs.
Y'all
not.
don't want to win a championship? What the fuck you in the playoffs for then? Just for shits and giggles? What the fuck are you doing?
Hey,
No.
man, hey,
That's
everybody.
horseshit.
They
No, I'm
lost
sorry.
to the champions, and they took the champions
Yeah.
to seven
seven.
games.
Seven
Yeah,
games,
that's how you
Mike.
can.
You did the same
for,
shit
Mike.
3 years ago in fucking Tampa Bay. The same
Hey,
shit.
that's all you can ask for. That's all you can ask for.
No.
You can't be angry, man.
They're
I
the
don't want
champs,
no mediocre. Listen, I'm done with
They're the
mediocrity.
champs.
I'm done with mediocrity, bro. I'm done with
No,
this. Next
Florida
year,
It
Cup,
wasn't
man, I don't even know how
mediocre.
to-
They took them to
no,
seven.
no.
Look, if they
No,
was,
I'm
look,
not.
if they
No,
was really
no, I'm
sorry,
not
they
going to
would've
let
lost
you
to
do
the
that
Cup.
to your Leafs.
Absolutely,
I'm not going
I
to
am
let
gonna
you do that to the Leafs.
No.
Yeah,
We're not
don't let
doing
them
that.
do it.
We're
The
not doing that.
Capitals, stop.
Go
The
on.
Capitals went into the playoffs as the number 1 seed
Number one.
and got mollywopped by the Canes and eliminated in 5. Ovi did not score a fucking goal.
That is true.
Oh, my
You
God.
are
Now,
complaining
she
because your
can-
team went to 7.
Seven? With the
They've
Go
double
on,
done
give her the
this
mic.
multiple times.
Give her the mic, she can rant.
Don't do
would
that.
make me mad.
Don't do that.
That would make me
They've
mad.
done this
Don't do that.
multiple times.
Don't do so.
Multiple
Is my
times.
team. My team has gone into the playoffs before, up 3-1 in the series against the Penguins, and guess what happened?
But here's okay.
You
But
want
here's
me
the
to tell you what
difference.
happened
Here's
in
the
that
difference,
series against the
NFL girl.
Penguins?
But here's
Oh,
the
here we
difference
go.
between you two.
Oh, here we go. Oh,
You guys
Lord
won the
Jesus.
Stanley Cup, no?
Oh, Lord Jesus.
No, have you guys won
Yeah.
the Stanley Cup? Yes or no?
Yeah, 2019. I absolutely have the Stanley
That's
Cup
my
t-shirt.
point.
Absolutely.
years, Mike.
Okay,
It's been 6
here we
years,
go.
Mike.
Because I'll say this:
Yeah,
if let's
it
say
has.
the Leafs had won a Stanley Cup in this period of time, or even got to the Stanley Cup playoffs, I wouldn't say shit. I'd be fine with that. They have habitually gone to the Eastern, like to do this Game 7 shit. Habitually done this. If we go down the list from 2021, when they were the higher seed against the Canadians, they should have mollywopped the Canadians. We got fucking ass kicked by the Canadians. We go into 2022.
You can't say that, Mike. Like the Capitol was the number 1 seed, and we got mollywopped. You can't say when you're going into the playoffs, you should do this or you should do that.
No. My point was this. Again, I understand they're playing the champs. I understand all that. I'm not saying nothing. And again, I knew it was going to go 6 or 7 regardless. And again, if let's say, for example, there was a split, fine. But those 2 games, in my opinion, Toronto played solid, really good hockey. They played really well at home, both those games. Okay. My problem is the fact that you got blown out. Even if, let's say, they lost Game 7 2-1. Hey, you know what? That happens. Last year, when they lost 2-1 to Boston, I didn't bitch and moan. My friends lost their mind. I said, listen, the last 3 games of the Boston series last year, all 3 of those games were 2-1 losses. All 3 of them. Means
so Mike, do you feel better? Do you feel better by losing by 1 goal? What difference do it make? You still lost.
No, my point is you got blown out, dog. You didn't even try.
Nobody's gonna remember that next
year.
Hey,
how do you know they just won? How do you know Florida just went on their A game?
Florida was on the bro. We won.
Like, they may have tried, dog.
You can't even show effort. No, my thing is, I think my gripe is more the effort piece. I think that's where my gripe is. Losing.
Did they look like? Were they out there loafing, bro? Were they
yes.
Like, were they out there? They were.
Yes.
They were literally like looking like they just
Game 5. My friend looked. My friend was like,
about Game 7.
Mike,
Game 7.
And Game 7 was the same shit, dude.
Mike, I tend to not believe you, man. I tend not to believe you.
I'll send you all the highlights.
I don't think Game 7. They just went out there and said, "Hey, y'all." They just went out there and said, "Okay, well, whatever."
Okay.
Y'all.
How about this? How about
whatever?
I'll send y'all the highlights.
You win, hey, smooth. If we do it, we do it. If we don't, we don't.
Okay, listen. I'll say this. How about this? I'll send y'all the highlights of Game 7. Y'all tell me, and if y'all tell me that they're showing effort, I'll take back what I said.
Hey, you want to hustle? No, I got shit. Hey, you want to hustle? I got shit to do. No, I ain't gonna hustle.
Yeah. One. They were going against the Florida Panthers.
Absolutely. I understand that.
Okay. So you're not giving your team credit for getting their ass busted by the defending champions, right? Is that what we're doing right now? Is that you're getting in their ass by losing to the defending champs?
I think
who've been playing solid hockey.
Solid? I can't.
The Panthers?
I have to
the
disagree.
Panthers?
No, the Panthers. No, Panthers have played great.
I'm talking about Panthers. I'm not talking about your team.
No, Panthers, the Panthers are the Panthers.
Yeah, Panthers. So that's what I'm trying to say. Like you're shitting on your team for losing to the defending champs.
But they did that again. Listen,
in game 7, they took them.
They did that again.
They've done. No, I would team that took them to 7, though, Mike. You're the only team that took them to 7.
Bro, they went to game 7 against Tampa 2-3 years ago.
I'm not talking about this year. This year, you're the only team.
My point is, this is repeated with this core. This core of the Maple Leafs has done this.
Okay, then you guys ain't gonna get there. You guys ain't gonna get there no more. And then after that, then you're not gonna feel, or y'all gonna get swept. You're gonna feel some type of way. Watch about 3 years ago, you're gonna get swept.
No, this is what I was gonna say. Until the Leafs can get out of the second round, I don't even want to watch no pundits talk about the Leafs. Because every time I deal with the Leafs here, they always keep hyping this fucking team up. Even after game 6, oh, the Leafs, look at the way they played. I think this is going to be different. The Leafs are this and all this other shit. So I just want, when the Leafs get to the second round,
the champs, man. I don't know how any other way to put it to you, bro. It'd be different if you lost to like the lower seed or somebody that was trash. You lost
again
to the damn champs.
You lost
to be fair, they might win it again, dog.
No, they probably might.
Seriously,
they probably not. But to me, that just means, like, again, I feel like this team should have won this. I felt like this team was on it.
You think you making it seem like they were overrated or something? You know what I mean?
No, I'm not saying Florida's overrated. I just felt the Leafs should have won that series. That's how
I disagree, but okay.
No, I know you. You picked them to get swept, so I'm not gonna.
I mean, give your team credit. They did better than I gave them credit for.
I know you did.
You really thought your team was going to beat the Panthers.
I did. I wouldn't have picked them otherwise.
Absolutely not.
I wouldn't have picked them otherwise.
You can't believe that, though.
Absolutely
Man.
not.
I wouldn't have picked them otherwise.
No way. There's no way.
I wouldn't have picked them otherwise.
The champs, he thought, man, come on, bro.
Bro, why would I have picked them if I didn't believe they were going to win?
Have you watched them play this year? Have you watched the Florida Panthers play this year?
Okay,
I don't do that.
I've watched the Florida Panthers.
Listen, y'all know me for how long. When have I ever done that?
Look, man.
Okay.
No, when have I? No, listen.
No, Mike. I agree with you.
Okay, let's listen.
We're
on this podcast.
I will say this though, Mike.
What we're not going to do is sit here
why did you believe they was going to win? Why did you believe it?
Why did I believe they were going to win? I felt the way the Leafs have been playing throughout the season, I felt the defensive structure was better in terms of their depth on defense. I thought that Matthews was going to take a step because he played well in round 1. Also, Nylander was playing great, and I love the coaching and the way the coaching was.
But you also said your goaltender was suspect.
There you go.
Now,
I was waiting for you to get to that.
Now, when I said that initially at the beginning of the playoffs, I thought that what was his name? Woll was playing. Stolars had played, and Stolars was great, and then he got hurt in game 1 against Florida, where dude elbowed him in the head, and I think that's what kind of shifted the series.
You said something that was key. You was hoping that who made a step?
Austin Matthews.
Look, they going against a team that already made the step.
I know.
I know. Like they already.
But in fairness, like Austin Matthews, I felt was playing well.
You thought him maybe making a step is going to beat a team that already made the step.
And that's my fault. I probably should have hoped. Like the NFL girl said, what hopes and wishes or whatever.
Yeah.
That's my
hopes
mistake.
And wishes were lows and fishes.
That was my mistake. Absolutely. I should have made any hopes and wishes. That was my mistake.
You wanted to hope for the guy that had made the step yet.
Exactly.
Against the team that already made it.
I agree. I probably shouldn't have had those expectations. That was my bad. I'll take the Bulls.
It's like me thinking the Bulls going to beat the Chiefs or something.
Me and NFL girl should be mad. We lost in 5, man.
I mean, that's what I was going to ask y'all about. Like, what were your thoughts on that?
Canes.
But you look at us. We're not so angry.
I was.
And ranting.
Man, I'm angry for y'all.
I stand by my anger. I stand by all of it.
That's all right, Mike. I respect it, Mike.
I
respect it. I mean,
we thought we was going to win, but we lost.
I thought you were going to win. I thought I picked.
You got ran out of the building, man. That's it.
Garbage. Play like hot fucking garbage.
And especially seeing that the Canes got dominated by Florida. I don't know if that's an indictment on how good Florida is or just whatever.
It's how good Florida is. And your team took them to 7. Right. That's what you're not seeing. Canes didn't take them to 7.
all that being said,
Nobody
that
else took
probably
them
is
to
what
7 but
frustrates me
y'all.
more because I feel that that's all the reason we should have beat them.
Look, because I feel like if they didn't try, why they even win Game 6?
Right. They would have lost Game 6.
You
That
said
part.
they weren't trying.
I just felt game. I
Why
just felt
win
game
Game
set,
6
bro.
then?
I watched Game 7 of the first period, and
Man, you was just mad, Mike. I'm a fan. I know it. We all did it. We've all been there.
I'm a fan. Listen, I'm a fan, bro.
Come
And
join the club. Join the club, Mike.
dude, the Maple Leafs have
admit
not
it,
won
Mike.
the Stanley
Mike,
Cup
they
since
tried.
19.
Mike, they tried.
The Maple Leafs have not
Yeah.
been to the Eastern Conference Finals since
They got their ass
2002.
whooped, bro. They just got whooped. They tried.
I know.
Mike, we know they ain't bad. We know they ain't bad, but that's no reason for you to believe they was gonna go this
And,
year.
and they're not a bad. And y'all not a bad team
Y'all
at
not
all.
a bad team. I can say
At
y'all
all.
was garbage.
No, they're gonna make the playoffs next year, probably. Like they're good enough to make the playoffs next year.
Why you so mad, Mike? Why you so mad?
Because
He's also the champ.
I have high
Disappointed.
expectations of my fucking
Exactly.
team. Damn it!
He's also the champ.
You lost
I
to
have
the
lofty
defending
goals.
champs.
Sorry that I have expectations. I
No,
apologize.
Mike, you can be disappointed. You
Yeah.
can be
You can be
disappointed. I'm not
disappointed.
angry.
No, I'm more
Absolutely.
disappointed. I'm more disappointed than angry. I'm just talking.
Okay, so
More
you gotta calm down there, Mike.
Not at
Like,
all.
hey,
I speak with passion on this podcast. God damn.
Well, listen, me and NFL girls should be mad and angry. The losing
Furious.
5 as the number 1
Losing
seed.
5.
Yeah, losing in 5
And
was. I
fucking
was
Ovi
surprised.
doesn't score a single goal. Nothing.
Oh, man.
0 goose egg.
Now that would make-
What are
that
you
would make
talking
me mad.
about?
Now that's rant.
But
That's-
you don't want to hear
that's
yelling and
rant-worthy.
screaming about your team losing to the national champion, the champions in Game 7.
I listen. Everything I said on this podcast, I'll just say
What are we doing, Spoo? What are we doing, man?
I don't
everything
know.
everything I said on this podcast, I stand on. But anyway, that being said, okay, so Edmonton is in the Stanley Cup. So congratulations to Edmonton for making it.
We predicted Edmonton.
We didn't predict Edmonton.
We
I
got
don't know.
the East we got wrong completely.
Who did you pick for the West? Did you pick anyone for the West? Smooth?
No, I ain't picking nobody.
Okay. Fair enough. You were kind of on the open. But me, VO, and NFL Girl.
What about my guy? What about my guy?
Edmonton's in. McDavid's
Edmonton is in there.
All right,
Connor
so
They
McDavid.
gonna lose, but they are.
So I'm going to go to Smooth last. I'm going to go Smooth. So NFL Girl, who you got in the Stanley Cup? You got Edmonton. I know.
Damn it.
This is tough. This is really going to be tough.
I want Edmonton to win it because I've watched them all season. Like I'm on the West Coast, so I've gotten, been blessed to be able to see them this season. But man, the fucking Panthers are playing right now.
They are.
It's just so hard to pick against them because I've watched them just fly through these teams in the East. And so, God, I don't want to pick them. I don't want to. When's the last time a team gone back to back? I don't think it was that.
It was Tampa.
I think it was Tampa. Yeah. And that wasn't even that many years ago.
No, it was like 4 years ago.
Yeah. Oh, God. I think it's going to be the Panthers. I really do. And I hate it because I don't want them. I don't want it to be the Panthers.
I know.
But as much as I really have enjoyed watching, like, Connor McDavid step up this season or whatever, and watching how well Edmonton has played, the way they just discombobulated the Dallas Stars.
Oh, that shit.
And just chef's kiss. Because especially the way they took Mikko Rantanen out of that game. This is a man who had back-to-back hat tricks leading into the WCF, and then they get in the WCF and Mikko Rantanen, it just completely disappears. Just dismantled this team. So absolutely appreciate what they did there, but can they do that against the Panthers? I don't think so. I don't, and I hate that for them. I hate that for them. Okay. They do. They do. So yeah.
All right, VO. What say you, sir?
We didn't roll this train this far, baby. We're not getting off, baby. Everton, baby.
Let's go.
Give me Everton, baby. We went this far. We ain't turning back, baby.
All right. Okay. Edmonton. Okay.
The couple's gonna be in Canada this year, baby.
Yeah, baby.
All right, I'm sorry. Hey, baby.
No, don't apologize.
No, don't say Smooth. What say you, man? What say you?
I say that, your Ottawa team gave them 7 games that like sparked them to figure out, we're the champs and we're going to go forward. So now, after they got their mojo back, I think they're just going to win. I think they have too many lines, too many players. You can't just shut out one guy. Yeah. Somebody else will step up. And I think they'll beat Edmonton. They beat them last year. So I don't see what the change is.
I mean, the difference is, I think, Edmonton was down 3-0, came
Mhm.
back, won 3 straight, and then obviously game 7 was, I think for me, I'm going to take Edmonton games. I think it's going to go 7. I don't think it's not going to go less than 6. I'd be shocked if it went less than 6. I mean, Florida is Florida. I mean, they're just it's gonna be tough for Edmonton. I think even this year because they got Marchand, fuck that fucking guy, and then plus defensive. Yeah, like he's a pain in the ass.
Miss Brad Marchand.
He's so annoying. I can't stand that guy, but he's really good. Really good.
And he's
really
little. He's little and he's tough.
Little and tough. He's just annoying, but he scores.
Scrappy and he's right? He just keep coming.
I think when it comes down to I think it's going to come down to Edmonton's goaltender, Skinner. I think it's going to really come down to him. I think if he had 2 shutouts against Vegas.
He did. He did.
We were just like lights out. If he can play that way, I think but again, with Skinner, like I said to you, Smooth, Edmonton just has to accept that either you're going to get good Skinner or you're going to get bad Skinner. You're going to get a game where he's going to probably have a shutout, and you're going to probably have a game where he's going to give 5 or 6 goals.
But see, Florida has so many shots coming at these goalies. That's why they struggle. Like, they're coming in waves. They're taking shot after shot, and then eventually that pressure breaks you down.
Yeah,
one goal to get through. Next, they done got 4 goals.
Because that's what happened with Carolina. Like Carolina just.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
It was like I said, it's the difference. Like the West and the East was so different because like Dallas Stars on average was only doing 22 shots on goal.
That's it.
That's what I'm saying, right?
Fucking Florida had 31 shots on goal.
Yes. And they're just.
Are you kidding me?
It just waves. It
just never stops coming.
And so
constant pressure.
Again, I think listen, Connor McDavid, I think is going to do what he does. I don't think they're going to be able to stop him. He's going to get his stride. The Edmonton's offense I think they're going to produce. I would be shocked if they just shut down. But I really think it's going to come down to the goaltending for Edmonton. Because I think, Florida's Bobrovsky for Florida, he's a beast.
Machine.
He's a machine.
Absolute machine.
And look, and don't underestimate them losing it last year, man.
That part. That's why
don't underestimate that, dog. Like that's
listen,
big.
I saw Tavio. I'll give you credit. I remember seeing a game. I think it was game when they lost the 3rd game, and Connor McDavid yelled at his team like, "Right fucking now, what the fuck are y'all like?" Cussed them out. I never seen like Connor. He doesn't do any of that. He was intense.
I like that.
The same shit, Vio, that you're talking about with Anthony Edwards. Connor McDavid did that.
You see what I'm saying?
And they won.
Our players got to talk shit.
And he talked shit. They won 3 straight games.
NFL girls, you see what I mean? It's just you either got it or you don't. You either got it or you don't.
And he had it. And after that, they won 3 straight games. Now, obviously, they lost. I think him, and again, he won the MVP of the Stanley Cup, and they fucking lost. So Connor McDavid's going to do what he's going to do.
He do.
Yeah, it just.
You know who needs to step up for the Oilers?
Who?
Evander Kane.
I agree with that.
That's who's been missing. Evander Kane.
I agree with that.
If Evander Kane goes off and at least 2 games with one. If he won and he gets that momentum going and he steps up for a second time, if Evander Kane gets going, then they have more of a shot than just leaning all heavily on Connor McDavid. That's what I feel like.
Because I agree with that. I think that's the problem last year is that Connor played so great. I think by game 7 he was gassed.
And that's exactly what happened.
He probably been thinking about that shit all off season though. That's probably the only thing he's been thinking about.
But once again, the whole theme of this podcast has been team. So you can win one guy all you want, and Florida gonna wham down and they'll win again. So if that team around Connor McDavid don't show up, it's going to be the same.
I agree with
That's what I said. That's why I said if we get Evander Kane to step up, they have more of a shot.
Because they have guys. I mean, they have.
They do. They absolutely do.
Nugent Hopkins. They got Evan Bouchard, who's their defenseman, who's one of the best scoring defensemen in the league. They got Corey Perry. They got Zach Hyman. They got guys. But to your point, Smooth, those guys I just mentioned, they have to show up. It can't just be Connor McDavid and Draisaitl.
It can't.
They won't win.
Look. This may be different. This may be different sport, but it's the same scenario. Remember, UNLV blew Duke out by 30. Remember, and the next year Duke beat them.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That loss, man, it does something to you. Like when you wouldn't do that extra thing on a regular game, you'll do it in this one because you want to fucking win. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's that much the difference.
Yeah.
I mean, like let's say I'm somebody that never dive on the floor for a ball, but because I know I lost last year and how painful that was, I'm gonna dive on the ball for the
Yeah.
floor this time. Nigga, I don't care. I'm gonna do whatever. You know what I mean? And I don't never take that for granted. Bro.
Because there's
Go
history. Because I'll give you context. Like Florida, they played Vegas in 2023. They lost that Stanley Cup. Go back last year with it. And and same thing. Even with Sidney Crosby, they played Detroit the first time. Detroit whooped every part of their ass because they just weren't ready. The next year, Pittsburgh played Detroit. They beat them. So there's precedent with it, right? And I think
For sure.
point, you got like Connor. I think Connor's going to be dialed in. I'm not worried about Connor. To your point, Smooth, it's going to come down to everybody else. Everyone else has to step up. Because Connor had like 42 points. Like he had 7 goals, 35 assists in that Stanley Cup last year. Everybody else is kind of like
maybe that's Florida's plan.
They need to listen. They need to grind the tape on Florida if they can. If they want to get past Florida, they absolutely gonna have to grind the tape
and
figure out how to get past Sergei Bobrovsky, because that dude is he's a wall in front of that.
You just got to get traffic. You got to get guys in front of them.
If they continue to have 31, 32 shots on goal, it's a wrap.
Yeah. And I mean, listen, and that's gonna, and to your point, Smooth, that's gonna be a problem because Edmonton's defense isn't the greatest.
Exactly. Right. So
yeah,
those shots on goal is gonna wear skin down, because you can't, when you're a goalie, you want smoothness, right?
Yeah.
But when you got these Florida guys coming at you 3-on-1, 3-on-2, and they shoot them shots, you're gonna break down.
Yeah.
And Florida plays great defense because they hustle.
Yeah.
They got all these fast guys that can get in the way. Yeah.
They'll dive and stop a slap shot, which is insane to me.
They'll check somebody. They'll
check anybody into the glass. I saw him check a ref into the damn glass. I was like, God,
I wouldn't be surprised if they win. I wouldn't be surprised.
Neither would I.
I would, because I mean they're such a great team.
They are. But I just think with Edmonton, to Vio's point, I think Edmonton being there last year and knowing that
tastes bad.
And it tastes bad. I know Connor was salty. Like Connor didn't even accept the award for the MVP because he would decide to be with his team after they lost. You know, like that's how much.
If they don't play defense, it's tough. You gotta play defense.
You're right. And listen, they're gonna have to get as much shots as on Bobrovsky as they can.
Yep.
And again, to Edmonton's credit, I think they've scuttled in these playoffs. They haven't been dominant. I mean, they were down 2-0 against the Kings in the first round, and they somehow won that series. And then after that, they've been pretty dominant, I would say. Like even the Minnesota series, or not Minnesota, sorry, the Dallas series, they pretty much dominated Dallas. So
they did.
I think so hopefully they can carry that momentum. But also, again, Florida's been kicking everyone's ass. So it's just really shit. So it's going to be I think it's going to go 7. I mean, I'm hoping for 7. And I mean, listen, I think Edmonton, I mean, I'm not sure. I think both teams were the same seed, I think, in both conferences. So I'm not sure who even has home ice. Because I think it might come down to home ice advantage.
Hey, Spurs lost to the Heat next year.
Spurs beat the Heat.
Remember that?
Because there's nothing worse than having to see that damn confetti come down in the other team's colors, and you got to walk off with that bitter ass feeling.
Yeah.
I mean,
you was right there. You was right there.
Go back and look at this, and not to, because I'm gonna have to glaze Smooth real quick.
I know. I was going to say.
Go back and look at Travis Kelce's face when that damn confetti is coming down and that green and white, and he got to walk off the field knowing he got his ass busting that game. Yeah. He didn't do a damn thing to help his team win that game. That feels terrible.
Yep.
And then,
you got to have a sick feeling.
And then Jalen Hurts had the screenshot when they lost to Kansas City.
Yeah, that part.
Right. Had it on his phone. So I'm hoping that's what Edmonton did. I hope they got screenshots of, what it felt like when you got your ass bust and you lost. I hope Sergey haunts your nightmares.
Yeah.
And you trying to figure out all season how to have a cardboard cutout of Sergey in front of a goal and just keep busting shots into the goal.
And I really hope the NHL markets this.
But hockey is so different, right? Hockey is so different. If you're not playing defense and your goalie is suspect, it's lights out.
It's gonna be hard, yeah.
See, football is a little different because you don't have a one-on-one matchup at the end. That goalie against a player is a tough matchup, no matter how you look at it. So that's why hockey is such a different kind of game. There's so many players in football that can change the game on momentum, but in hockey, that goalie ain't right. It's a problem.
Yeah,
a big problem.
It's a huge problem.
Skinner, like I said, earlier in the playoffs, I was shitting on Skinner hard, but he played really well. Like up until this point. So he just gotta He's got to do that.
He ain't have 31 shots on goal though.
That's
He
what I'm
did-
saying.
no, he
Like,
had
it's
a-
the difference between 22 shots on goal and 31 shots
There
on
was
goal.
one game that Dallas did get 31 shots on him, and he was
Okay.
able to stand on his head. But
Okay.
to your point, Smooth, like consistently, because Florida's going to do that
Exactly.
consistently. They're
Every
not gonna
game.
do that one game.
Every game.
They're going to do it
Right.
every game.
Constant pressure.
Oilers in
Pressure.
7, baby.
Oilers in 7. I got Oilers in
There we
7.
go.
Oilers in 7, baby.
Florida in 6.
You got Florida in 6?
I'm gonna say Florida in 7.
Okay. We're gonna
So
read
there
it.
we.
We're gonna
So
read
there
it.
we go. This is one time that we don't
Can't
have a
stop now,
majority.
baby.
It's okay. Listen, you gotta listen. If it's not now, then when, boy? Again, there's no guarantee. Hey, there's no guarantee you're gonna get
Listen,
back.
I'm not sad if Edmonton wins it. That's the thing.
No,
Like,
I
I'm
know.
not gonna cry
No,
if
I'm not
Edmonton
sad
wins it.
either.
I mean, listen,
But
Florida. I mean, if Florida wins, fuck. I mean,
Listen,
like,
if listen, that market the hell out of us. It's Canada versus the U.S. Do y'all want to be the 51st
That-
state?
NHL,
Right.
you need to market this shit.
Market
This
the
is-
hell out of that.
Listen,
Make
last
that,
year
make
I get
nasty.
it. This
Make
year,
it
this
personal.
is the year.
Yeah, make it personal. Hey, guess what? Trump lives in Florida. You gonna root for Trump and these raggedy ass Panthers? Are we all in on Canada, baby? What are we doing here?
Hey,
Make that joint like that. Make it personal.
hey, shit gonna be it. They
Is
raise
it
that cup in
is it
Canada,
fuck Trump
baby.
and the Florida Panthers, or is it Edmonton Oilers and Canada ride or die all day?
There we go. There you go. You got the market.
out.
It sells itself. NHL.
Man, Canadians better be. If I was up in Canada,
Oh, we're
I'd
all
be
listen.
running
I
that.
think everybody. My
Listen,
friends are.
CBC better be running them
You know what
ass
the
like
funny
that
thing
every
is?
day.
Like, my friends are such diehard Toronto Maple Leaf fans. They won't even bring themselves through for the Edmonton Oilers. They're torn. They don't want to root for Edmonton. They're like, I don't know, because they're just like diehard.
Right.
I'm like,
tell
I love
them if they ain't rooting for Oilers, they rooting for Donald
No,
Trump.
I respect to Vio's point, and that's why me and Vio get along. I respect.
Tell them that.
Connor McDavid is a great player. It's hard not.
Absolutely.
So for me, that's why I'm rooting for Edmonton still. So I can't not root for them. All right. So I was actually thinking about this topic, and I'm thinking we can kind of do this every week or whatever. We can kind of do like a question of the day. I was thinking of this actually yesterday because I was watching some baseball stuff. Who is, and this could be in any sport, who do you think is the most overrated player? And it could be in any sport that you think is just highly overrated, that people will hype up. I'm sorry?
I'll go first.
Yeah, absolutely.
James Harden. In the story.
Hold on, who's still holding him in high regard? Who?
That's my
Who?
question.
Yeah, right now he's just labeled a solid player. He ain't even labeled no.
But when the Clippers when they were playing, right, his name was mentioned every single game. If James Harden,
Does this?
Harden.
Yeah.
So that's my answer.
Yours is James Harden. I mean, the fact that you said that so quickly is I'm very impressed.
I like it.
There was no hesitation at all. There was no
At all.
He didn't even have to think about
He
it.
had to think about it. He was first.
He's like, go first. Let me go first. Ooh,
Right.
I
Just
got
off my
my
chest.
Couldn't wait to pop that out.
Exactly.
Kilo deal slam dunk.
All right. I'll go. Mine is Mike Trout. I think Mike Trout is grossly overrated. I think.
Is he playing? When's the last time?
No,
I mean,
he
he just came back.
Okay.
But
I ain't seen that dude play like 2-3 years.
that part, and I think you know what it was. I think
I just
people
heard
were
his
saying that he
name. I
was.
ain't seen him play.
People were saying that he was the GOAT at one point before show. Like people were saying because he won 3 MVPs. Everyone was like, "Oh yeah, Mike Trout is possibly the greatest of all time." I'm like, the greatest at what?
Staying hurt.
Getting hurt, and he's only been in the playoffs once and got swept in 2014.
So Mike, you didn't think about this either because you came up with that real quickly as well. So
I brought up the question, so I
He already had his answer written on that paper.
yeah,
Right
he had
beneath
his
it.
answer written down on a piece of paper.
No,
Right?
I had it in my mind.
He had the question there, and then right there underneath it was already his answer.
It was all here, baby. Steel trap right here. Steel trap. No, I'm kidding. All right, so between which one? Who wants to go next? Jennifer Girl or Vio? Who?
I'll go last because I can't. I'm trying to think, man.
Yeah,
A group of people.
could be any sport. Again,
We all got like 15 people, right? So
Yeah.
there's a lot. Oh, Vio has a lot overrated.
Pick one, right? You said pick one.
Okay, you can pick. I mean, Vio, if you have like 3, then you can pick 3. But we'll just, you know.
You said 3. You said 3, right? He still got like 15. What you mean?
you got 15.
Yeah, for real. Yeah, I do. I got a lot of them.
right.
And you said players or coaches? Where are we going with
Oh,
this?
God.
Coaches.
We'll do coaches next week. We'll do overrated
We'll do
coaches next week.
week. Coaches
Lord
next week.
Jesus.
Let's leave it to players. Let's leave it to
We'll
players.
leave it to players this week. We'll do coaches next
Lord
week.
Jesus.
We go coaches next week. That'll be
Yeah,
fun.
coaches will be next week.
Let me see. Okay.
Overrated
player.
Who you think is just everyone hypes and glazes so much and thinks they're so great, and you just think they're.
I can say mine while VO's still thinking.
Yeah, go ahead.
Verlander.
Oh,
Verlander.
Okay.
Ooh,
I'm sorry, but what have I seen Verlander do this year? I'm not saying that he was always. I think he's overhyped now. I'm not saying that Verlander at one time wasn't the man. I think Verlander. No, he absolutely was.
Yeah.
He absolutely was the man at one point. I don't think Verlander is that same player now. I think he's overhyped now.
I agree with you because
Verlander hasn't been healthy.
They paid him all this money to come to your team.
Throwing bags and bags of money at this man.
So I agree with that.
I mean, you could say the same thing about Scherzer. I mean,
and
right now,
Scherzer was number two. If you had asked me if you told me two players, it would have been Verlander and Scherzer.
The Blue Jays are playing Max Scherzer right now, $15 million to do nothing. He has.
I didn't even know where he was anymore. And again, when Scherzer was with the Nationals, he was great. When Scherzer was with the Astros, he was he was a player on the roster.
But Verlander, Verlander's interesting. Okay.
Just because, like I said, he's not the player that he was, and they still talk about him like, oh, when Verlander gets back, it's going to be, and he doesn't stay healthy. I feel like he's overhyped.
I mean, he's 42 now. He's old. I'm surprised he's still playing. I guess he just wants to cash those checks.
I mean, they still throwing the bag at him. Wouldn't you?
Hey.
Yeah, take it, right?
Listen,
I would take it. I can't say I wouldn't take it.
I'm 52. If somebody said they still going to pay me $15 million a year, where you need me to sign?
Yeah.
What you mean? I'm signing today.
I'm sure he would have retired, but the Giants said, "Hey, Verlander, you want to come and pitch for us? Hey, sure, why not?"
Exactly.
I like
that's
the Bay
what I'm trying
Area.
to say. And same thing with Scherzer. I think Scherzer's. And again, same thing. Was Scherzer the man back in the day? Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Back in the day, though.
Back in the day.
But that's back in the day. Scherzer is not that man now. I didn't even know he was with the Blue Jays. That tells you how much I mean,
he's only started one game and then he hurt his thumb and now he's out.
And he got hurt again. There you go. Same thing. Him and Verlander stay hurt.
I sent it to my friend how much Scherzer's getting paid, and it was
astronomical.
It was insane.
Astronomical.
Hold on. So
they signed Scherzer to a bigger. They signed Scherzer to his deal.
Yeah. So Scherzer right now is getting $15 million from the Nationals. He's getting $30 million from the Mets. He's getting $12.5 million from the Rangers. Wow. And he's getting $15.5 million from the Blue Jays.
Damn.
Wow.
Shout out to his agent, whoever Max Scherzer's agent is.
Hey, call me, dude. Hey.
And Kirk Cousins' agent. And Kirk Cousins.
Hey, if y'all want to come on the pod and give us some game, please.
And Kirk Cousins' agent as well.
Call me. I need a deal like that.
Hey, for real.
So that's what I'm trying to say. Like the word was Verlander, were Scherzer, those guys back in the day, absolutely. But I don't think they are anymore, and we need to let that go. Okay. And it's okay because players age.
Players do age.
It's the same thing. It's the same thing. It breaks my heart to watch LeBron play now in his 40s. Homie, you've been playing.
Smooth, does it break your heart to see LeBron play or no?
No, I don't want to see him play.
I just did that just to fuck with.
I'm talking about playing. Like nowadays, watching how he plays in his at 40 or 39. Totally. Yes, I know, Smooth. You don't give a rat's ass. But you understand what I'm saying?
I just want to poke the bear.
Young, fresh-legged in his 20s, LeBron. Yeah, so that's the same thing we're talking about with the Scherzer and the Verlander situation. In their 20s, even in their early 30s and whatnot. Phenomenal. I would not want to be a player going up against them.
I mean, Scherzer was kind of crazy. He was a little bit of a psycho back in the day.
Oh, no, he is a psycho.
He is a psycho.
Yeah.
All right, VO. You got?
I got him in all. I got him in all the sports. Yeah.
Okay, sure.
Go for it.
But I'm with you. I got two on the same team.
Okay.
Two of them on the same day.
Oh wow. Okay.
All right. Just gonna break the Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown.
Oh wow.
Don't tell me. Don't tell me. Overrated as fuck. Overrated as fuck.
Oh man, I knew.
Oh.
But see, this is what I did know about VO. I knew something was gonna come out, man. I knew something was gonna come out.
That is. I like. Okay. And what's your rationale of thinking they're overrated?
Cause man, like they know, like what big game have they ever came through? Like most of the time they play a team that they better than. Like I've never seen them play like when they played a team like the Warriors, they lost.
True.
Mm-hmm.
You remember like that was, like they beat the Mavericks, a team with one guy who was defensive liability and a bunch of other guys who never been there.
Yep.
Yeah, and
You know
Kyrie
what I'm
was
saying?
there, but Kyrie, yeah, it was yeah, no.
Yeah, but now if he would have beat Steph Curry to win the championship, then we'd be having a whole different conversation. But you didn't beat Steph Curry. He whooped you. It was like they beat him what 4-1?
It was 4-1.
Something like that.
Yeah, it was 4-1.
Yeah, no, like and then you didn't. And then
I agree.
It took you forever to get there.
I agree with Tatum.
And it took you forever to get there to begin with. You know what I mean? And then because that's how you didn't even get the Finals MVP. Like, how are you going to be the face of the team but not be the Finals MVP? Like, you played that bad. Like, you know what I mean? Like NFL girl said, if you the MVP, like more than likely, if OKC win this, it's gonna be Shea Gilgeous as the MVP.
Yeah.
Like the fact that there's a question that somebody else could be like when Mike played and Scotty, there was no question. My nigga, if they won a championship, who's gonna get the Finals MVP?
Yeah.
San Antonio Spurs, same thing. Any other team, Los Angeles Lakers, at one point when the first three-peat, when Shaq and Kobe, it was Shaq. You knew Shaq was gonna get that. It wasn't even Kobe. Wasn't even in the conversation. As good as Kobe was playing, you knew Shaq was gonna get the Finals MVP. Like the fact that there's a question is already suspect. With me, that brings that to me. Like, and why we all? And then they talk about well, he got hurt, but you was already down 3-1. Like, why we already down? You know what I mean? Like, he was playing out of his mind, but who's to say they was gonna win that game if he would have stayed in there?
Right.
Yeah.
So I think those two are so. And Jaylen Brown, like, he can't even go left.
Yeah.
So how you gonna be one of the best players in the league?
I mean, actually thinking about it now, I've never seen Jaylen Brown go to his left.
He don't.
Man, you taking us back to Mateen Cleaves, man. Mateen Cleaves.
And nigga, you making y'all, you making $300 million for real?
I mean, both of them are making $300 million, no?
Man, oh my god.
But Mateen Cleaves' coach said he couldn't go left. Remember that?
I remember hearing that. Yeah.
If they make $300 million, look. Then how much should SGA make? He should ask for about $600.
He still got a year on his rookie deal, right?
He can re-up his deal.
He's not able to get that Supermax deal. I think next season. Not this season.
But he can get I'm not sure. He can. I think they're trying to look at doing his deal now, possibly. But yeah, he can probably wait till next year. SGA.
Yeah.
I think he used to not be, but he started to be. Luka Doncic is overrated to me.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying?
Especially watching him this year. Oh,
I knew VO had a list.
Well, VO had a list. VO was trying to trying to curate that list.
Overrated. I'll leave it at that. But the main one I wanted is the two Celtics dudes because I hear about them all the time. Oh, they're too great. I'm like they're not. But I've never seen them win one big game. Never. Like most of the time they play against a team like they're supposed to be against a team better than that they're supposed to be.
Yeah.
So.
That can't. Yeah, thinking about it now, you're right. I can't. I don't think. I'm trying to think of a scenario even during the regular season where they beat a team.
Yeah.
No, because even OKC when they went to Boston, OKC whooped every part of their ass, and
that's what I'm saying.
When they played the Cavs whooped every part of their ass. So,
right. You lost to the Knicks. So. And you was already losing before he got. I hate when everybody say, "Well, Tatum got hurt." Nigga, they was already down in that series.
No, that's facts.
I mean, we were thinking maybe they could come back, but yeah.
You were already down. If you wanted it, you should have played early in the series. Why you wait all this time to all of a sudden think you're gonna win?
Especially didn't they started the series at home.
And
Right.
lost game one.
They had home court, right? They had home court
Oh, yeah,
advantage.
they lost game one.
Like
Didn't they lost game 2,
One
right?
and two. They lost game 1 and 2.
They lost
They
game
lost
1
1 and 2. Yeah, they were down
Yeah,
0-2.
Yeah, so if y'all so damn great, how they lose? And y'all were healthy. It was nobody hurt on the Celtics. Everybody was healthy. So man, mystery with them.
3-point shoot.
Don't ever come.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm impressed with y'all.
My Chicago Bulls beat them twice this year. Twice. Beat them 2 times.
That is true.
So,
That's true.
Man, I don't respect them, bro. So when I hear all this Boston, I'm like, and another dude get on my nerves is Al Horford. I think he over there rated. Just because he can come in and be 40 years old and make a jump shot, nigga, don't mean you the greatest thing since sliced bread. Okay. You 6'10". You should be dunking the basketball. Hell.
So Vio's just shitting on the Boston.
The whole team.
I was gonna say, bro, just say Celtics. Just say Celtics. That's like,
well, y'all see, obviously.
we said that who's the most overrated player? It's Celtics.
Boston Celtics.
Don't make
Their logo,
the team.
Their logo, their
team.
court, that part
Right.
court, all of it's overrated.
Man, I can go in on
fuck their mascot. Fuck their. Yeah.
I can go in on how sorry Drew Holiday was playing. Drew Holiday was playing like trash.
Okay.
He was, dog. Am I lying?
No.
Drew Holiday was playing like straight garbage. He did.
I'm just laughing because we said name a player, and he just said the entire Boston Celtics. Your fans, your court,
the parquet court, overrated. Everyone hypes up that parquet court.
Yeah. Missoula, he ain't that damn good. Missoula, get out here.
That's right. Correct.
Yeah, and that's my boy. What's my boy in Houston? That's his team. My boy
Ndoka.
Yeah. That's Emi Udoka's team.
That kind. I mean, technically, he ain't lying. It is his team, really.
Oh God.
He did in Houston as well, right? He's doing all the same thing in Houston.
Yeah.
So
that was the best laugh. Oh Lord, he said Celtics. The whole team, everybody, everything.
So Boston, Theo, the Boston Celtics are overrated. In other words, fair enough. Every single player.
The player.
Luke Cornett is overrated. Luke Cornett, overrated ass center, trash.
I couldn't.
Fuck TD Garden.
I couldn't pick between them or Draymond Green because I was gonna go in on
Draymond Green.
Hey, you can go on. Hey, we got time. You can go on Draymond.
I didn't even think about him, Theo.
Yeah, I was going to go in on him.
Oh man.
So fucking overrated. Like, what do you niggas just because he can hit a layup? Just because he can hit an open jump shot. Nigga, you supposed to. They got 4 of the Hall of Famers on the court.
So Vio, who's a more overrated, Draymond Green or the two Celtic duo?
Oh man, that's tough.
That's why I asked the questions. That is tough.
Oh my god, that was. Oh my, that's
I know that's a tough question, right?
Draymond Green for sure.
I was gonna
Draymond. I'm gonna say Draymond slightly because by Frigid because you had Kevin Durant on the floor. How is this nigga so great? Look, that's like me in a pickup game, right? And I'm playing with 3 other NBA players, right? That play, right? And all I gotta do is hustle and just play defense. That's all I gotta do and hit the shots when I'm open. They do everything else. They score, dunk on niggas, assist. Shoot the 3. They doing everything else. Yeah. All my job is just to get the loose balls,
right?
Pause, dive on the floor. You know what I'm saying? And all of a sudden, I'm the greatest thing since sliced bread. But I talk the most out of anybody.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's a good grade, guys. Yeah. We did. Yeah. We did a great job. You put Draymond Green ass with not this year's Pistons because respect to them. I like this year's Pistons team, by the way. Hey, we need to talk about this more. But before, like the ones that lost, that was losing before, that was lottery. You put him on any lottery team, and that team is still lottery, nigga.
Yeah. Draymond Green is like DJ Khaled. He's like Draymond Green's like, you're in a class and you have a group project and he's in the group with you, but he does none of the work, but he gets the credit. That's what Draymond.
Yeah, that's what he is.
Yeah, that's what he
is, bro. And talks the most. Like, look.
But he talks like he did all the work. But he did.
Kevin Durant and Jordan Poole should still be with the Warriors.
Well said.
But they're not because of you.
Correct.
They could have won. The Warriors could have won 2 or 3 more championships, y'all. They really could have.
They could have. They could have ran it back the year after they lost us, and they could have easily won the championship.
Because of this clown Draymond Green.
Right. You know what I mean? Like that shit kind of man.
Saying something to Kevin Durant when Kevin Durant is a scorer. Pass the ball. Pass the ball to you for what? So you can shoot an air ball?
For what? Yeah, for what?
Right.
You ain't
Yo,
even that
man, when they was playing Cleveland, man, Kevin Durant got hurt or whatever. He couldn't even score 10 points a game for the rest of the series.
If you so
And I'm
great,
like,
nigga, why they gotta go
this
get
year
Jimmy
step
Butler?
up. He couldn't do it.
That part.
If you so great, why they gotta go get another star? Nigga, why? I thought that was you. What are you talking?
That is
He
fair.
the most single triple double I've ever seen. Single triple double.
Triple single.
Single triple double.
Trash, bro. Trash can water.
And a guy that's suspect like that, why do you talk so much? You're not a great defender. You're a great fouler. You're not a great defender.
Right. And then
You're too small.
you act such a damn fool on the court. You act such like even Dennis Rodman didn't act like that. He didn't act like that.
No.
Dennis Rodman did not act like that, bro. Dennis Rodman was more basketball oriented.
I mean, Draymond's like stepping on guys' stomachs and crazy shit.
Yeah.
Like
Dennis Rodman actually had basketball skill. When he was at Eastern Oklahoma, he could score. He was a scorer. They asked him to be a defender in the league. He really was a scorer player. He took the role of being a defensive player.
And became one of the best defenders of all time. Period.
All time.
Bar none.
And rebound.
And guess what? Didn't get fouled out of games like 19, 20 times a season.
No.
What are we doing?
He didn't play dirty. He didn't.
He didn't.
No.
You know what I'm saying? Draymond is dirty, man. He's a dirty basketball player, man.
I think when he slapped was it Nurkic he slapped in the face randomly?
He tried to choke him.
And then
I thought it was Gobert he tried to choke.
Oh yeah, he slapped him.
Rudy Gobert is the one he put in a chokehold. Sabonis is the one he stepped on his nuts when he was on the ground.
Yeah.
You understand? He got suspended for those games or whatever. So like I'm saying, he been playing dirty this whole time. You lose players like you said, you talking about Jordan Poole, they got rid of Klay Thompson and kept him.
Yeah.
Which is
what do they have to show for getting rid of Klay Thompson and keeping his
man? They should have never looked.
Zero.
I don't care. Klay Thompson should have retired. I don't give a damn.
He said he wanted to.
He
repeated that shit.
They started that shit. Them two, Splash Brothers. It was those two guys, and then everybody else. He should have retired with Steph.
I agree.
He should, man. I hate that, man. I hate it.
Yeah, it seems weird seeing him in a Dallas jersey. He should be in with the Warriors.
He should have retired with Steph, man. Because there was times where Steph wasn't even playing where he stepped up. He scored and was balling, hitting 60 and shit. You know what I mean?
The most one dribble scorer
ever.
Have games where he just step outside the arc and just killing them with 3-pointers.
But I blame Steph Curry for some of that too, because you should go to management and say, look, man, I want to continue to win my career.
Right.
This nigga's like kind of messing it up a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Like I want to I'm getting older.
Right.
And this nigga's still acting like he in high school. My career
or like acting like he's like here, he's been here for
Yeah.
like a year. Yeah, no, I got you.
Right.
Steph
You know,
should have said, we need to keep KD and get rid of this Buck
Right.
Draymond Green. That's what he should have said. And they done won at least 2 more championships. At least 2 more.
Dog, think about how good they'd be if they had hang on to KD and Clay.
But
Man.
isn't a person that we used to talk to saying that KD? I remember we had a conversation on the old app, and one of the people.
dude, he would be past if they had Kevin Durant and they would have won. Steph Curry would be past LeBron James.
Oh, hands down.
Correct.
Hands down.
Sure.
It wouldn't even be a debate.
He would be past LeBron James.
It wouldn't be a debate.
I mean,
Fair enough.
one big clown.
You want to talk about your Yankees in the series with the Dodgers or no?
Yeah, I'll talk about it, man. Shit.
What the hell is going on with the
one
Yankees?
game? One game you relive the demons from the World Series, because that's what happened to them in the first game is basically what happened to them in the World Series, right? Same shit. Freddie Freeman, asshole.
No, don't do
You know
that.
what I mean?
Don't blame it on Freddie Freeman.
Don't blame Freddie Freeman.
He's the one who brought him back. We was kicking their ass, and he brought them back, and they beat us 7-5. You know what I'm saying? So
Just
That's
maybe
your
don't pitch.
team. That's on
Maybe
your
you
team,
want
not
Freddie
Freddie
Freeman.
Freeman.
Don't pitch to Freddie Freeman.
nah, man, because he killed us last year.
He
He
did.
Killer.
NFL girl brought up the fact
what
that
is
he had
the
that
MVP?
grand slam home run and then he held the bat up and then he just dropped it like a mic.
Yeah, because when you got a dumbass manager who put a nigga in there that ain't pitched in 3 months
That was
in the
bad.
10th inning,
That was
you know what I'm
insane.
saying?
That was
Like, you know what I mean? The guy had put. Oh my god. Bro. Anyways, they lost by 8. They lost. Yesterday, you can't even say nothing. At least you got your ass rocked.
I
got
mean, Aaron
you got
Judge did
rocked to
have 2
sleep.
home runs at least.
Yeah.
Hey, well,
But
you
those
know
are
what?
only 2 scores in the game.
Hey, got your ass straight up rocked.
18-2. Jesus.
You got your. It was a bad day in New York, huh?
Yeah, New Yorkers. I mean, New Yorkers are probably salty. My friends.
I gotta call and check on P. I gotta check on P. Boy, he probably.
I mean, my New York friends who are Knicks and but I have a friend who's a Knicks and Yankees fan. They haven't posted anything. I got to make sure they're alive. I don't know what's going on with them because they were posting a lot of shit this week, but they've kind of been dormant the past couple of days. I got to make sure they're still.
I bet I would be too. What are you gonna say when you get your team get your ass handed to them 18-2, and then the Knicks get knocked out and are not absolutely not going to the finals?
You got Busta Rhymes
but
making videos of New York
how
shit.
I'm acting. Look. But you know what? You see how I'm acting? How I'm not even pissed? It's to the champs. See what difference that makes? Like I expect the Dodgers.
It's not the playoffs, Leo. It's not the same thing.
If we're gonna get our ass whooped by somebody, I expect it to be like that by the Dodgers. You know what I mean?
Listen, it's not the same thing.
Like if they'd have lost like that to the Brewers or some shit, then that's a whole other story. You know what I mean? Like then I'll be like, I'll be on there ranting.
If they lost 18-2 to the Colorado Rockies, who haven't even won 10 games.
Oh wow, yeah.
Then I'll be ranting.
Yeah,
right.
Colorado. Then you got to fire Aaron Boone. I agree with that.
It's the champs. It's the champs.
Aaron Boone. Yeah.
See, that's the difference, though. That's the difference, right? See how
I stand. Listen, I stand by.
That's how you gotta act. You lost.
I stand by my earlier rants.
Of course you do. Of course you do. Of course you do.
Hey, but I want to take the time out right now. I know we talking about that. I want to thank Smooth and his Philadelphia Eagles for what they've done for us. Thank you very much. I don't know what Howie and John Lynch, but they must have a good relationship because let me tell you, because you probably got to make that pick good, and we needed him. I think he is.
So who'd y'all get?
Bryce Huff.
Yeah, Bryce Huff.
Oh,
Bryce Huff gonna be nice with us. I think he's gonna fit what we do. He didn't fit the Eagles. He didn't fit y'all. What y'all do?
No, he didn't fit us. You're right.
Vic run a different type of defense. You know what I mean? Okay. And where Bryce Huff was successful was where Robert Saleh was in New York. So the fact that Philadelphia even granted us that trade, I truly appreciate it, man. I feel like that was a fair swap. I always tell you know what I say. If Howie Roseman call you, don't pick up the phone.
Hang up.
Don't pick it up.
You see that area? You see that Philly area code? You hang up.
Yeah. 9 times out of 10, you're gonna lose the deal. You're gonna lose the deal.
You see 215 come up on your phone. Don't answer that shit.
Don't answer. But I feel like
send it to voicemail. Send it to voicemail.
What you think, Smooth?
I think they were either going to cut him or trade him, right? So, and they didn't think anybody would trade for him. But it doesn't make sense for y'all guys because y'all had Salas, and that's when he had his most sacks. So it makes perfect sense.
Yeah. And y'all always do good with the picks. So
yeah, and we get some salary cap. So basically, we saving like $6 or $7 million.
Yeah.
So it makes sense. It makes perfect sense, and it's going to help you guys because y'all are getting older on defense. So y'all need that.
I appreciate
y'all need that.
I mean, you always need.
We didn't have a rush like the guy we drafted, Mikael Williams. He's gonna be a base down in. He's not gonna be really a pass rush in. He's gonna be like a guy that you move in the inside, like during pass rush down. Correct. We didn't have Bryce Huff is a pass rusher.
Yeah,
that's what he specializes in. That's what he's not gonna be in first and second down. He's gonna be in on third and 9, third and 11. Correct. That's what we needed. And
y'all needed that. Y'all needed that.
Yes,
for sure.
Yes. So thank you, sir. And you good people.
Oh my God!
It's a good deal for both sides, though, man.
Yeah, and y'all do, and y'all beat the Chiefs too. So
absolutely, yes.
Yeah. So y'all did what I needed to do in the Super Bowl, and y'all gave us a trade. Hey, I ain't got no problem with Philadelphia right now.
No smoke. You got no smoke with Philly?
Nah, no smoke. I'm cool with Philly. Really cool. Really cool. But I will say this, y'all. I was doing my research and looking at some things. and y'all gonna, and I guess it'll be for another podcast. But don't underestimate the Cowboys. I look at their roster; it's solid. It's solid.
But
It's
the
solid.
problem, Dio, the problem is Dak Prescott
I know.
and Schottenheimer, the coach. And we
I,
all
I, I,
know,
I can agree.
I mean,
and
they'll win.
and
They might win
and,
12 games.
and
No, I
Jerry
think
Jones. And
I
Jerry
think
Jones.
Dak Prescott is the problem, like y'all said. But like you know how a lot of people talk about they're gonna go like 9-8, or you know, like people they're not gonna go 9-8. They're gonna win at least, like you said, they're gonna win probably 12 games.
But what are they going to do in the playoffs?
Nothing. And that's
I
if they
don't think
get
that
there.
I don't think I don't think that's what Jerry. I don't honestly. I don't even think Jerry Jones cares. I just
That's
think
the
that if they
He
make
problem.
money
does.
and,
He
they're
does care.
good,
He does care, but he just not willing to make the decision. The thing that Jerry Jones needs more than anything is a GM. And he refuses to get out of his own way and allow a general manager to hire a general manager and allow someone else to make the personnel decisions. He's already said he's not going to do that. So that team is going to continue to be stuck on mediocrity. I'm not saying that they won't go 12-5. I'm not saying that they won't go 11-6. I'm saying that the problem is if they even get to the playoffs with that kind of record, which is can go either way every season. If they do manage to get to the playoffs, they're not going to do a damn thing because they still don't have all the pieces they needed. Again, when we were talking about the draft, that was the team that needed to make a huge splash when it came to receiver, and they did not. They let that opportunity exactly. They let that opportunity fly past them or whatever. So that's going to mean it's going to once again fall on CD Lamb to be your WR1. And once they double and triple team him, who's on the other side that can step up and make the kind of plays that he can? No one.
Pickens.
And as
Well,
far
we got
as
Pickens.
don't do that. Don't do that. That's so
No,
no,
disrespectful.
man. I
Don't do
I
that.
think no, man. But
And then you got
on the
Dak
real though,
Prescott. Go ahead.
no, on the real though, like I expect. I think George Pickens will be fine. I
He'll
think the
be
tight
fine.
end is. I think the tight end Ferguson is good. I think he's better. I think he's underrated. I think that guy's underrated for what he does. The thing is the reason I'm saying don't sleep on the Cowboys because this is me. You know, we all opinionated. I expect Washington to take a step back. It always happens every year. The team that you know that's good and they get this good
It's
acquisition
called
in the offseason.
sophomore slumps. The sophomore
Right.
slump. Is Jaden Daniels going to be able to repeat that in his second season?
I
CJ Stroud
truly
didn't do it.
expect him.
I do not expect Jaden Daniels to be the same player that he was last season.
I expect him to take a step back for number one, the Eagles, right? That's I mean, we all shooting for them, right? That's the key.
For
But
sure.
I think they're gonna be better. And you're gonna have to play against them. And like I said, even though we don't agree with the Cowboys, it's still a tough 2 games a year because it's a divisional game.
For
You know what I
sure.
mean? No matter what, you know what I mean? And I just don't think Washington is still. Remember the Texans? Texans had a great season, took a step back. You know what I mean? I just think it's always that one team that has a great season that does that. And like she said, I do think Jaden Daniels and them going to take a step back because they were new. They kind of they weren't on anybody's radar. But now everybody's got film. They can see what Jaden Daniels
Right.
They're going to
does. They can
scheme
know
you out.
what
They're going to take away things he does well. Yeah.
Right.
And so the onus is going to
I-
be on him to adjust to what they're taking away.
Right.
Exactly.
And I just think that they're going to that division is going to be tough. I don't as much as we disrespect the Giants, they're going to be tough because I'm telling you right now, the 3 pass rushes that they can throw at you with Carter, Thibodeau, and Burns, that's a lot.
That is a lot.
That's a lot on your tackle and the dude in the middle, Big Dexter.
Yeah, Dexter's
like
nice.
you gonna have to block.
I mean, if they trot out those 4, let's say.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
That is. I mean,
you're gonna have to block. So they're not gonna be easy. So that's why I say, and I think the team that's gonna benefit out of that is gonna be right there in the Cowboys and Eagles. in that,
I think with Pickens though, right. Steelers don't get rid of receivers unless they're a head case. So that's why they got rid of Pickens.
Facts.
And he's in his last year. They said that at the Christmas game, he came through the media room at the game, came late and came through the media room. They said no players do that. This dude is a head case. All the head cases the Steelers draft receivers well, but most of them self-destruct. Yeah. And when they self-destruct, they ship them out, and they don't do well when they ship them out.
Right.
So Pickens, he doesn't get open because he's not fast. So he pushes off all the time. He's not dynamic like CeeDee Lamb. So he's going to come over there, but he's a hit case. When CeeDee Lamb gets 10 catches and he gets 1, what's going to happen?
Well, that's
explode
gonna
you.
be,
Can two things
Lock
can,
down.
can
I think
two
that's gonna be
things
the
can
key.
two things can be right at the same time. I feel like that's a very likable scenario. Or 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 as a football player and as a guy who was, respects what you do, you watch a nigga like CD Lamb every day and learn how to get better.
Hopefully,
Watch how he worked. You
hopefully.
watch what he does. You watch you pick up habits. Because in Pittsburgh, really, who were you playing? Who was really the guy you were following? You was the number one receiver, basically, right? At
Correct.
Pittsburgh. There was nobody to follow suit. But with a guy like CD Lamb, an all pro wide receiver, which you know your role, you number two. Like it ain't no question about it. You ain't going in there saying, well, I'm gonna be
But do
number
he
you
know he number
know
two?
we at.
But do he really believe he number two though? That's the problem.
I believe when he watched CD Lamb and see how good he is in practice, I think he gonna know that
It
he's
is
not that good.
listen, he might
You
say
know,
he's the number. Yeah, I see what you're saying.
you know what I mean?
I see what you're saying. Yeah.
And I think that helps. You know what I mean? And it's a
I mean,
different environment.
Yeah, Vito, to your point, I hope that rubs off on George Pickens, because to Smooth's point, I think, yeah, George Pickens just kind of was all over the place. So if he's able to kind of lock in, and again, he's in a contract year, so I mean, if he wants to get paid, he better figure it the fuck out and chill out and not do all the silly dumb shit he was doing last year, like not blocking or.
I mean, as of right now, he is saying all the right things. He's saying that, being there in Dallas is going to be a good opportunity for him and yada. He's saying all the right things. I just need to see it on the field because I have not seen it yet.
I haven't seen Dak. I haven't seen Dak support multiple weapons. Have you?
Well, we'll get to see. Yeah, kind of.
No, I mean he had Cooks in there last year. Did Cooks do anything?
No, I mean he had Amari Cooper at one point, and I don't know who else.
Yeah, Amari Cooper and CD Lamb was cooking when they was together.
And then they got rid of Amari.
Yeah, that was
which
dumb.
made no
that was
sense.
Dumb. It was
no
so
sense.
Every second receiver that comes in there, they don't get the ball. So now with George Pickens coming in, is he gonna get the ball, or is it gonna be CD Lamb and the tight end? What he's familiar with?
Man, look, everybody's played sports before on this podcast, right? We all have, right? And we've all had somebody on our team that was better than us.
Yes,
clearly,
absolutely,
right? So what did that make us do? We didn't want to go out there looking sorry, right? We went out there and wanted to be the best individual we could be, so we could look and compliment that great player. You know what I mean? We don't, and I think when you are next to another great player like that, I think he's gonna see. And probably also, maybe I don't know, they didn't tell him what his role was in Pittsburgh. Like, because at the end of the day, you didn't know what they was, a throwing team, running team. You didn't know really what Pittsburgh was doing. They didn't have a quarterback. Like, there was really no structure. In Dallas, you know what it is. Dak is the quarterback. CD Lamb is wide receiver 1. You are wide receiver 2. That you know your role. So maybe I think it's less pressure on him.
I mean, you're hoping. I think to Vio's point, I think you're hoping that it clicks.
Yeah,
I hope it does.
You have less pressure. You have less pressure. Nobody's expecting you to go out there like a gangbuster. And at the end of the day, you really don't have nothing to lose, because if you go out there and have a decent season, somebody's gonna sign you.
He is gonna get paid.
You're gonna get paid.
I think he'll get paid. He'll get at least one. He'll at least get one deal. I don't know about a second. If you play, you might get a second.
But to y'all's question, that's all the reason in the world for him to be motivated.
I don't disagree.
It should be. It should be, because he had the same way. He had the same way when he was at Georgia. The same thing.
Yeah, and I think he's got to just, like, again, to your point.
A head case in Georgia, when he definitely wasn't the best receiver there, and he still acted the same way. So when you're a head case, I don't care where you go, you're gonna be a head case, because you already has the president to be a head case. You're in a situation where you're the number one guy. What is you being a head case for? Now you're gonna be the second guy and not be a head case?
Listen,
hopefully
in his introductory presser with the Cowboys, he admitted that Mike Tomlin told him he need to grow the fuck up.
I could
literally said that to him.
Yeah.
And I bust out laughing and was like, yeah, that sounds like a Tomlin thing. Yeah,
like
for sure. Yeah, told him he need to grow the fuck up. And that's why he said, I think maybe here in Dallas is where I get an opportunity to, like, you know, a second chance to prove myself or whatever.
Hopefully.
Cool. If that's what you are, and we hope so.
I hope so.
Mike Tomlin told you, go grow the fuck up. Maybe this is your opportunity in Dallas to do just that. But part of that is what it sounds like all what you guys are saying, which is part of that is going to be you are not the WR1. You're going to have to humble yourself. I'm not saying don't elevate your game because you absolutely do. You do need to catch more balls or whatever. But also you're going to have to accept the role that you are not the man there. You are the WR2. But does that mean that you can be that you can't be a great WR2? You can be a phenomenal WR2. But you just got to be willing to accept that. And I don't know that he is.
Well, I think the Smooth's point, the way he said, like, CeeDee Lamb gets the ball all the time. Well, they didn't have anybody else worth the damn on the other side. Like, so I think George Pickens is the best second receiver they've had. You know what I mean? He's better than Tolbert. He's better than Tolbert.
Is he willing to accept that he's a WR2?
Gotta.
That's the problem. In Pittsburgh, they tried to make him the WR1. It was Pickett to Pickens. That was how they envisioned their future.
I think when you see a nigga like CeeDee Lamb who's better than you like that,
hopefully, listen.
If you're humble, again, if you are humble, if you're willing to be humbled and accept that, yeah, this dude here, that's the man right there. And not everybody is willing to accept that. And he wasn't.
Yeah, but VO, you talking like he's thinking like you though, right? He's not thinking like you, VO. So that's why it's different. And when I look at Dallas, where's the leadership that's going to make him stay in line? Who? You got Parsons doing podcasts after you lose, talking to all these players. Like, where's the leadership? Where's the leadership? Who's going to be the leader to say, hey man, you need to stay in the line? Dak ain't no leader.
Yeah,
Dak, you the number one team. You go to Green Bay, you get your doors blown off. You throw 3 interceptions in the first round of playoffs. So how is Dak going to lead? Dak is on TV saying, after the Eagles won the Super Bowl, we close with them. We beat them a couple times. You dummy. You haven't won in the playoffs. Like, what are you talking about? Like, come on, man. So where's the leadership at, VO? This guy's actually on TV after they won the Super Bowl saying we're close. Close how? You didn't even make the playoffs. How? You won one playoff game. How you close?
Close.
So when they say it's no leadership on that team that's going to say,
Smooth,
hey,
Smooth. He was playing Madden, bro.
You can't do this.
He's close on Madden. They were playing Madden. He was playing all Madden.
But who is going to tell him who's going to be the leader to say, hey, Pickens, you got to do this.
You ain't that dude. You can be the man next to the man, but you ain't that dude.
But NFL
and be okay with that. Exactly.
I don't know.
And you can't rely on Jerry Jones to do that because Jerry Jones is the type to run to the media and be like, talking smack about his own players on television, but not saying them by name. Well, Dak needs to really pick up his game this year. And Micah knows what he needs to do. And you're like, damn, you throwing your players under the bus. Bro, you the owner and the GM. Right. What are you doing to help develop their game?
Right. The best thing they did was get rid of Jimmy Johnson. Thank you so much. The best thing they did was get rid of Jimmy Johnson. And when you had a real coach that actually knew how to know football.
I was going to say, how was that the best thing? That was the worst thing they ever did.
To me,
best thing.
It was the
best thing for the Eagles. Touche for them. It was the best thing for the Eagles.
Thing. You know what I'm saying? Jimmy Johnson was a coach, a real coach. They had a real coach since him. You know what I'm saying?
No. What's name was he was decent. He got him in the right direction. Bill Parcells.
For that period.
Yeah, but I mean, Bill Parcells not a puppet. I'm talking about they only had puppet coaches since him. Besides Bill Parcells.
Yeah, besides Bill Parcells and Jimmy Johnson.
Remember he drafted because Bill Parcells brought in DeMarcus Ware.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And he brought in Tony Romo, found him. You know what I'm saying? Undrafted.
A real football coach.
But what happens every time he has a real coach that's like, listen, you gotta trust me, my dude. You gotta let me make more of these decisions. He ends up firing them.
Correct.
You understand? That's why he got rid of Bill Parcells. That's why he got rid of what's the name? Jimmy Johnson or whatever. And they brought in Barry Switzer, who was a yes man who just nodded his head along. Yes, sir. Anything you say, sir. You understand? After Bill Parcells, you understand what I'm saying? The problem is he brings in coaches that just nod their head along to whatever decisions that he's willing to do. And that it has left that team in mediocrity since the 90s. And Cowboys fans are like, Big Mike, I know y'all Leaf fans are delusional as hell.
They are.
But y'all are not as delusional as Cowboy fans. Because them motherfuckers are going to win the Super Bowl every monkey ass year since 1993.
Jalen Hurts has been born, grew up, went to high school, college, university, went to 2 NFC championship games since the Dallas Cowboys have been to the NFC championship.
But this is the problem I had with Dallas. You tried to draft a lineman, and you got nothing out of drafting them. So you're gonna turn around and do the same thing again instead of getting a receiver?
Hey, 3 Tylers.
Like,
all I know is when they play the Giants, they're gonna get smashed. Because that I'm telling you, them three wave of dudes, dog. Look,
Yeah.
Thibodeau ain't even gonna start. That's how deep they are.
Yeah.
Abdul Carter's gonna start. He's gonna come in and I'm like, damn, they that deep.
They are.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like they could do like the NASCAR path. You know what I mean? Where
They're gonna do that NASCAR shit for sure.
Man, and then they got the linebacker. What's his name? Ojulari or whatever his name is. He called. Oh man, dog.
Yeah. Defensively, they should be better. If the Giants are not,
and they got y'all's defensive coordinator. They got y'all's defensive coordinator that y'all had with that drafted boy Landry. We know had.
Okay, it's Bowden.
That's what the coordinator is.
Yeah, Bowden's not bad. Bowden's a decent coordinator. Bowden's decent.
Yeah, so
he's decent. So
Giants, bro.
All he's got to do is just dial up the blitzes, dial up stunts and twists and all that fun stuff.
How you gonna block Brian Burns? Because Abdul Carter gonna get the lesser of the you know what I mean? Because you're gonna have to wonder, like, you gotta have Dexter Lawrence up there, Thibodeau, and like, who do we double?
I would try to just have Abdul Carter 1-on-1 and then just flood the other side.
I'm still trying to get past them trading up for Jackson Dart. So I'm still stuck right there. So I'm stuck right there. Like, you trade up with Jackson Dart, man. Nobody behind you wanted Jackson Dart, and you think you made a power move. So I'm still stuck with that. I mean, that defense is going to be great, but you trade up for Jackson Dart, who played terrible against all elite teams.
Yeah, I think their theory is, listen, they needed a quarterback. I knew they felt like they needed to draft a quarterback in the first round. They couldn't justify it to not get a quarterback, and I think they thought, well, you can draft.
But they could have got him at pick 40. They could.
I don't disagree with you. No, I don't disagree with you. I'm not.
Yeah, there was no reason to trade up.
No,
because nobody coming up.
More, but
exactly,
I think they were so desperate for some reason to say, okay, we need to draft, and whatever. But I mean, I don't know. I mean, I thought Jackson Dart was okay at Ole Miss. I didn't think.
Yeah, I liked him too.
I liked him. He was all right.
But he struggled against all good teams. He struggled, and every time they had to step up and play a good team, he looked confused.
I mean,
the one reads.
I would say the one time he played really well was against Penn State, where he dominated. But Penn State's just meh.
Penn State couldn't score though.
He balled out against Georgia too. He balled out. Didn't he beat Georgia?
He did beat Georgia
too.
Yeah, this past year.
He balled out against them too. Because we got their wide receiver. His name Jordan Watkins, I think.
Oh right, yeah.
Yeah, we got him. Because we about to get rid of a crybaby.
Who's the crybaby?
We got a crybaby on our team. Brandon Ayuk.
Ready?
Oh God.
Crybaby, man. When him gone, bro. He a crybaby, dog. I never seen a nigga that get a 30 million. He's still crying. Like you.
What's he crying about?
Sorry, dog. Because Julio Jones was on a podcast the other day, right? And he was talking about why Julio Jones was saying this. I don't know. That's why I hate players when they retire, because they start talking too much. He goes on this podcast and he says, well, yeah, in the Super Bowl against the Patriots, I didn't get that many targets. Like, like a shot at Shanahan, right? Like, okay, cool. But like, why are we bringing that up now? So on Instagram, Brandon Ayuk put a picture of Julio Jones on his story. You know what I mean? As to say, like, that's me. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, I'm like, dude, you gotta go.
Julio, he had over 100 yards in that game, did he not?
He had to go. Yes.
So what is
he had a good
game.
Matt Ryan blew that game though.
Yeah, exactly.
No, Julio was tripping too. The defense blew that game.
The blue
Nah, man.
The defense too.
Matt Ryan didn't let the play clock run down. He was hiking the ball with like 15 seconds off on the play clock.
But they couldn't stop the Patriots. But they got to stop the Patriots too, though.
But Vio, if he let the clock run down, they don't get that opportunity. That's just one-on-one quarterback.
And James White was clowning them fools, bro. he was looking like Eric Dickerson. he was looking like Roger Craig. James White was having a good game. I said James, and he's like the third running back. And he was like the right James White at the time, like the third. He just happened to be starting.
He was the third down back. Yeah,
he was a nice scat back, bro. Oh man.
All right. Well, before we sign off, any other topics anyone want to bring up before we wrap up for the day?
Nah, just looking forward to the finals and hockey and basketball. Looking forward to that.
I think they're both going to be good.
Sure.
I think, hopefully they both go 7. Hopefully no duds, because that would just suck. Because then we're gonna be a dry
You're
summer.
still mad because your team ain't beat them. I understand, man. I
I
understand.
am still sad.
Let it go. Let it go.
I'll let it go eventually. Not
Let
right
it go.
now. So
Okay.
still, the wound is still fresh. Can't let it go yet. Eventually, it'll heal. It'll callus over, and I'll be able to move on. But not right now. Still salty.
The only satisfaction you get is by them losing.
That is it. That's just what it is, man.
That's why you picked against them. I get it.
Hey,
Go ahead.
listen, my Blue Jays they're doing okay. So I guess I can root for my Blue Jays, and when the summer hits. So whatever.
There you go.
Yeah.
I'm gonna end the show with this. I think this is my hot take.
Okay.
This NBA season is gonna be 3 blockbuster trades, like 3 of them. 3.
It's gonna be the best offseason. It's gonna be
Giannis. I mean, Giannis for sure.
That's the first.
I think, I think this is what I think. Look, I don't know what I know, but I think Joel Embiid is gonna go to Los Angeles.
The Lakers.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Okay.
That should be
Smooth. Get your EMB jersey on Fanatics. No,
Hey, and you know what's gonna happen with that, y'all? He's gonna all of a sudden be healthy.
True. I mean, because they already had
Watch.
They already had street clothes, who went over to Dallas.
Hey, because the Lakers do it. The Lakers do it every year. They do it every year. They go get somebody that we didn't think that they would get, and they always fit. And watch when Joel Embiid is with the Lakers, he's gonna all of a sudden be healthy.
There you go.
You're not gonna see. You're gonna be like, what?
Y'all
gonna be salty.
Yeah, but I wasn't thinking nothing about that. That's a good take.
Watch. Him playing with Luka and LeBron, all of a sudden he ain't gonna have no ailments. He's gonna be
all world.
Yeah, he's playing 67 games. What?
Rub some dirt on it. He's gonna rub some any ailment. He's gonna rub some dirt on it and just go out there and just hoop.
That part.
And LA is his type of, and he's always a show play type of, how he likes to do. That'll be perfect for him. And for the Sixers, they can move on, bro.
Yeah,
this shit needs to end.
Yeah, I mean, agreed. Paul George is there, just podcast peeing it up, just fucking talking foolishness.
Yeah, it hasn't been.
And Halliburton has passed him, by the way. I feel like on the Indiana ladder. And people, and that I feel like Paul George is behind Halliburton. Halliburton has passed him because he's taking that team to the finals.
Paul George ain't going to no finals, so he already passed him with that.
Yep.
Oh yeah, but I think Paul George is a little overrated too. Sure, but whatever. Too late now.
Oh man, that's a good one too.
Yeah, missed that one, but whatever. Podcast B. All right, so we're signing off.
Podcast P.
Podcast.
I mean, they was calling them playoff P before.
He's podcast P, man. Podcasting it up, man. He's listening.
And he got mad about people talking about saying Halliburton was better because his argument was, well, he didn't play. I played against a prime LeBron. That don't mean nothing.
That doesn't mean anything. Means nothing. Means nothing. That's not. If that's your argument, your argument sucks.
Exactly.
Come on, podcast B. Be better. I'm just saying. Listen, he did more podcasts than shoot field goals.
That just sounds funny, man. Podcast P.
He was listen, that's what they call him on the internet. They're called the man podcast P. This man at one point had done more podcasts. There was more podcast shorts of him than
I think he gave himself playoff P because I don't know who the hell gave.
Yeah, no one called him playoff P.
No, hold on. It was in a mocking way. It was not in a good way. It was playoff P because he always chokes in the playoffs. Y'all got it backwards. It was not a compliment. It was absolutely a diss.
But I think
playoff P gets
there. Himself at one point that, and then everyone started mocking him afterwards.
Yeah, they used it as a mock. He called himself playoff P,
right?
And then they started saying, your ass is playoff P, all right.
That's where no one. I don't think anyone lost their damn mind and called him.
It was absolutely a mock. It was like, you are playoff P, my nigga. Absolutely.
Podcast P. Listen, podcast P. He is podcasting
because he started calling himself playoff P, and then he got his ass busted in the playoffs, and so yep, you're playoff P. All right, so yeah,
he's podcasting now.
You are showing your ass as playoff P. So yeah, that's.
He should just get a crown like Rashawn McCants and just get a crown with a podcast on it. Just they call himself Podcast B and just be done.
Oh man,
There you go.
Don't start with Rashad McCants. That's another show.
Oh yeah, he's trash too.
Okay, we'll do that next week. We'll say that for next week.
That'll work. I have a lot to say about that.
Oh Lord Jesus!
We'll put a pin in that for next week,
I'm
folks.
telling
If
you.
you want to hear,
What are we going? Are we going after people podcast stars now? Like let's
hey,
go.
why not? Listen.
All right, listen. I'm a North Carolina fan, right?
Oh,
North
Lord.
Carolina's
Oh wait, hold on.
So
Okay.
because of that, I'm gonna have a lot to say about his
All right.
nonsense.
We
So
are
next week-
wrapping this up because I swear, y'all, we will keep going if
We will
we
keep
start getting
going.
on these podcasts.
So
Oh Lord!
next week we're gonna shit on all the other podcasts because we're trying to climb to the top, baby.
Oh Lord!
We gotta cut the head off the snake, which is podcast. We're going after you, podcast me, and then we're going after Kills Reed after. No, I'm joking.
Oh,
We're
man.
going after Micah Parsons. Boy, you out here
Hey,
throwing your
Right.
teammates under the bus, nigga. What did you do?
see,
Yeah, yeah.
hey, NFL
You got
already
knocked out.
started. There you go.
Yeah.
Let's go.
There you
Next
go.
week we're going
There
after.
you
Yeah,
go.
yeah, we get on all them motherfuckers.
So if you want to
Yeah.
find out what Smooth has to say about Gilbert, about Rashad McCants,
Rashad McCants.
I highly suggest you tune in the next week podcast. Again, we're on Spotify, we're on Apple, we are on YouTube, we got an Instagram and all that fun stuff. So next week we're gonna be doing our thing again, probably talk about other people's podcasts and shit all over them. And so if you want to stay, this is what you should definitely stay tuned for. But all the other ones you don't watch. But anyway, I'm signing off. This Big Mike, Smooth, VO, NFL.
Take it easy.
We're
See y'all
out.
next week.
Take care. See y'all next week. Peace. We're out.
Yes. Peace.